Chapter 1322. Jiang Chunjing was the male lead, and the male lead won the game. The male lead's condition was to let Feng Xiaoxuan be his girlfriend for 1 year. Yes, that was how it went. Shisheng scrolled down the plot. On the eve of the basketball game, the female lead and the male lead would participate in a fight. The female lead would be injured, and the male lead would start to suspect the female lead from then on. A fight. Host, what are you trying to do? When the sandpiper and the clam fight, the fisherman benefits. Shisheng put away his phone. Someone is here to give me the startup fund. The system's IQ was not very good. You're robbing. Shisheng rolled his eyes. Am I that kind of person? Aren't you? Of course not. Shisheng denied it seriously. Thursday night. Shisheng sat on the rooftop of an abandoned building. This was the place where the female lead and the other party would deliver the goods. However, the male lead would interfere, and the 3 parties would fight in the end. There were still a few hours before the delivery time. Shisheng finished a handful of sunflower seeds, then slowly took out his phone, replaced it with an unused SIM card, and quickly pressed the call button. Host, you're not robbing? Robbing my ass. She was afraid of using the female lead's things. Who knew when she would be cheated? So it was better to call the police. Guzzi, I've told you, I'm not that kind of person. Shisheng emphasized seriously. As a law-abiding citizen, you should call the police if you have any problems. Do you understand? Hee, I can't tell at all. I feel like you're deliberately looking for trouble with the police. After calling the police, Shisheng continued to eat sunflower seeds. The police were here to make trouble for the female lead. Anyway, she didn't expect them to be of much use. She could just add fuel to the fire when the time came. The police are your personal cannon fodder, right? And it was the kind that was inexhaustible. What are you talking about? It's a tragedy to meet the host, and it's a big one. Shisheng sat on the rooftop until 1 o'clock in the morning before she saw someone enter the abandoned area. Her position was very good, and she could see the ground below, but it was difficult for the people below to see her. People came in one after another, and there were still cars behind them. Shisheng took out his phone and took a picture of the scene below. The quality was poor, but he could still see the outline of the truck with the headlights on. She opened WeChat to add him. It took a while for the other party to accept the request. Shisheng sent the photos over. Sutu was confused. I am the informant. The map you want. Sutu, who are you? I am the informant. Shisheng opened his profile and glanced at it to make sure that he had not added the wrong number. It was the number that Yao Yaling had given her. I am the informant. Yao Yaoling? Sutuno. F***CK. Was Yao Yaoling teasing her? Just as Shisheng was cursing, someone sent him a friend request. His profile picture was of a man in a police uniform. Shisheng. Even the police knew how to play. Shisheng clicked accept, and the message was immediately sent over. Suye. I'm sorry, the police officer who answered the phone just now gave me the wrong number. I am the informant. The police know how to play. Suye. Can you send that picture again? It's better to make it clearer. Of course, the prerequisite is to ensure your safety. I am the informant. 1 picture for 10,000 yuan. Suye. Forget it then. I am the informant. Where are you guys? Suye, we're on our way. I am the informant. Haha. Suye raised her phone and asked the man beside her. What does he mean? The man beside her crossed his legs on the table casually and looked down. When he heard the woman's question, he looked up and looked at the screen. The light from the screen converged into a spot of light under his eyes. The man stared at the words for a moment. I think you guys are too slow. Suye gritted her teeth and typed on her phone as she replied to the man. This is the procedure. We have to follow the procedure. The higher-ups are dragging their work. What can we do? After she finished typing, she turned to look at the man. Why aren't you going back? Annoying. Is Auntie rushing you again? The man glanced at her. Suye continued to reply to the message without stopping. Auntie is getting more and more scary. I don't even dare to go there. Every time I go there, it's like going to war. Let me tell you. The man glanced at her, put down his long legs and got up to leave. Hey, your phone, Suye called out to him. The man turned back and took the same model of his phone as hers. He leaned over and stared at Su-ye. Less gossip, more work. Su-ye. Wasn't she at work? Su-ye looked at the contemptuous emoji sent by I am the informant, and suddenly felt a little upset. Su-ye. How many people can you see? I am the informant. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Su-ye. Angry, can you be more serious? This is not a joke. I am the informant. I thought it was just a joke. Su-ye. Su-tu's phone was beside her just now. After she registered for WeChat, she didn't look at what she had filled in. When they added each other on WeChat, they scanned each other. At that time, everyone was in a mess because of this informant. She didn't pay attention and took Su-tu's phone. What could she do? She was also very desperate. Su-ye finally got the approximate number of people. She quickly reported to the frontline command. Shisheng even told them the safest place to hide it. I am the informant. You still can't catch them. Quit your job and go home to farm. Su-ye. Why was this person so annoying? The police definitely wouldn't believe a strange informant. No matter how much Shisheng said, they would at most refer to it as a reference. They didn't take it into consideration. A lot of people immediately gathered in the open space below the abandoned building. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, Feng Xiaoxuan led people to enter the venue. Both sides had a friendly meeting. Shisheng went down from the rooftop and went to the back of the abandoned building. He killed a lookout and sneaked out along a deserted path. The male protagonist's men were hiding there. He had to cripple the male protagonist first. Host, let's talk about the purpose of crippling the male protagonist. The male protagonist won't be able to play basketball tomorrow. Wouldn't the couple be separated then? Won't they change the time? Are you retarded? They suddenly changed the time after the fight. Isn't this saying I have a problem, come and suspect me in a big font? Do you think the male and female protagonists are so stupid this time? I'm a member of the underworld, all right. It's not that the overbearing CEO likes to abuse me. Well, wrong, the overbearing CEO fell in love with me. I have no brain. It's not a person. So you are retarded. Can you still be called retarded if you have a brain? Retarded butt face. Hashtag what should I do if the system is retarded again? Waiting online, it's urgent. Hashtag Master, the host is attacking me again. Chapter 13:23. She didn't need to beat the male lead until he couldn't get out of bed. She just needed to make sure that he couldn't win against the female lead. The female lead wouldn't be so shameless as to suggest that they were dating. The male lead didn't bring many people with him, but they were all quite strong. She couldn't just rush over like this. Shisheng pondered for a while, and decided to knock them out first. She rummaged in her space for a long time, and found something that looked like a grenade. She was on top, and Jiang Chen was on the bottom. Shisheng stared at them for a while, then threw the thing in her hand. A black thing fell from above. Jiang Chen's men immediately looked over in alarm. What is that? Hiss. The smoke quickly dispersed and the few of them quickly retreated. However, it was too late. All of them, including Jiang Chunjing, fell to the ground. When Shisheng returned, Feng Xiaoxuan and the seller were still talking. What a waste of time. Shisheng sat back on the rooftop and looked down with binoculars. Feng Xiaoxuan and the seller had finally entered the stage of inspecting the goods. They were trading a batch of guns. Feng Xiaoxuan's force needed these guns, but the overseas resources were too far away. It wasn't easy to get them back, so they might as well buy them directly. Just as Feng Xiaoxuan was inspecting the goods, a voice suddenly sounded from afar. Everyone immediately became alert. Police, don't move. The police knew that they had been exposed, so they rushed out from their hiding place. It would have been better if they hadn't shouted, but once they did, someone started shooting. Feng Xiaoxuan retreated with her men with an ugly expression. I'm the informant. Someone ran from behind. Shisheng even kindly attached a picture. Su-ye was speechless. Su-ye wanted to tell her that she was very considerate, but she didn't have the time. However, she didn't have time to reply now. She quickly relayed the news to the front. As for how credible it was up to the commanders to consider. The police were also a bit hesitant. Was this a trap or a trap? So they didn't chase after them immediately. Instead, they focused their firepower on the cellar. Shisheng saw that they didn't move for a long time, so she had to do it herself. She jumped down from the rooftop and quickly approached the truck of firearms. She took the weapon and chased after Feng Xiaoxuan. Split up. Feng Xiaoxuan made a gesture. The people with her immediately split up. The others also had a tacit understanding and didn't say much. They each chose a direction and disappeared into the night. Feng Xiaoxuan went straight ahead. Just as she was about to run out of the demolition area, her pupils suddenly constricted, and she slammed on the brakes. In the dim light, she could not see the person clearly, but her intuition told her that it was Luo Shu. Why was she here? Ah, are you busy running for your life? A brisk voice came from the other side. It's you. Feng Xiaoxuan gritted her teeth. She never expected that Luo Shu would appear today. Shisheng shrugged. His tone was as casual as if he had just eaten an apple. I only called the police. Everything else has nothing to do with me. How did you know? Only a few of her people knew about the time of their transaction. She believed that there was no traitor among her people. Then where did she find out about it? Is it the seller's side? Pinch your fingers and predict. Shisheng took out his gun, raised it suddenly, and pulled the trigger without hesitation. Bang! Feng Xiaoxuan was shocked. She lowered her body and rolled on the ground, hiding behind a nearby building. She actually took action without any warning. She almost did not react in time. Feng Xiaoxuan quickly took out her own gun and looked over there. She was still standing there. As soon as she poked her head out, the bullet flew towards her. F***CK. Feng Xiaoxuan cursed. The police would arrive soon after hearing the gunshot. She did not have much time. Feng Xiaoxuan tried to kill Shisheng. Unfortunately, she found that the little girl, who was not powerful in her eyes before, was now powerful. She fired several shots but failed to hit her. No, she could not stay here any longer. The police were coming. Feng Xiaoxuan quickly looked around and chose an escape route. After shooting at Shisheng, she quickly jumped into the bushes next to her. Behind her, there was the sound of bullets flying through the air. She instinctively dodged. However, just as she dodged the first bullet, the second one arrived. Oh! Feng Xiaoxuan staggered. She covered her injured hand and quickly disappeared into the night. Shisheng shook his numb hand. His face was full of displeasure. He seriously suspected that if he fired another shot, his gun would explode. The one who was favored was always the female lead. Cannon fodder, go to sleep. Feng Xiaoxuan was sure that she had shaken off the people behind her. She cautiously ran for a distance before stopping. She pulled off the mask on her face and looked down at the arm of the gun. Her eyes were full of coldness. Hello, are you all right? Feng Xiaoxuan made a call while stopping the bleeding. There was some noise on the other side, and the voice was intermittent. I'm fine. Boss, what about you? I'm fine. Focus on investigating Luo Shu today. Luo Shu? The people on the other side were very confused. The Luo family was gone. The underground forces of the Luo family were either taken over by them or divided by other forces. Luo Shu was alone. What resources did she have? How did she get involved in this matter? If I knew, would I still let you investigate? The other side was silent for a while. I will find out. Okay, be careful. Feng Xiaoxuan hung up the phone and took a deep breath. She could not help but think of the scene just now. She dodged the first shot, but the second one seemed to be waiting for her. Did Luo Shu calculate how she would dodge? No. Impossible. Luo Shu was not that powerful. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But Feng Xiaoxuan could not deny that she was much stronger than before. She was also much calmer. She had to get rid of her. Otherwise, there would be endless trouble. Chief, it's all accounted. The number of guns seized this time is not small. Does this count as a meritorious service? The middle-aged man who was called the chief slapped him. Meritorious service? Did you catch them? Meritorious service. Search for them. Send out all the police forces. We must catch those people. The police officer who was slapped felt wronged, but at this time, their chief was on the verge of exploding. He did not dare to provoke him, and could only leave quickly. "Chief, we found a discarded pistol at the back. It's from the same batch as the ones we seized. They did not send anyone there. All the firing points were in front. How could there be someone shooting at the back? Internal conflict? They did not even get the goods." "What internal conflict?" The chief suddenly remembered something. He dialed Su Ye's number. "Is the informant still online?" Su Ye quickly sent a message. "I'm the informant." "Su Ye, are you there?" "I'm the informant. Everyone has run away. Why are you still looking for me? Go home and farm." Su Ye. This person's words were really annoying. She reported this sentence word for word to the chief. The chief's heart sank. The informant had been at the scene all along. Ask him if he was the one who fired the gun just now. "Chief, if you ask like this, will he tell you?" The chief must be mad. "No, he fired the gun?" Asterisk hashtag today's votes for Cactus Liway hashtag the weekend is here. Little cuties vote. Monthly votes. Monthly votes. Monthly votes. Chapter 1324. Hurry up and ask. "Oh." Su Ye quickly typed a string of words and sent it over. "Su Ye, you were at the scene? Did you shoot from behind?" "I'm the informant." "Yes, is there a problem?" "There's a big problem, ancestor." "Su Ye, you're breaking the law." "I'm the informant. You can't even catch the person I sent to you. You can dream on if you want to catch me." Su Ye. This person was so annoying. She had never seen such an arrogant person. Did he grow up eating sanlu? When the chief heard Su Ye's affirmative answer, his face was even darker than before. "Find him." Su Ye's face was bitter. "I can't, chief. Our colleagues in the technical department can't track him at all. If they could find this person, they would have arrested him long ago instead of chatting with him here." "Where's Su Tu?" "He left." "Call him back and let him help." "Chief, it's very expensive to invite young Master Su. Our police department doesn't have enough funds. Every time they invited Su Tu, the whole police department had to eat for a month." "Aren't you his sister? You don't even have this privilege. What's the point of raising you?" The chief was furious. "Chief, he's a brother. You know my brother. He doesn't do things without money. He doesn't do things when he's in a bad mood. First, our budget is tight now. Second, when he left just now, he wasn't in a good mood. In summary, it's not realistic to invite him. I don't care. Call him back or I'll deduct your salary." The chief shouted and hung up the phone. Su Ye held the phone in a daze. What did she do? "Chief, is it really okay for you to be so willful?" Su Ye called Su Tu, but he didn't pick up. He didn't reply to her text messages. When she called home, his family said he didn't come back. They didn't know where he went. Su Ye was desperate. "Her salary, Su Ye bro, who the hell are you?" "I'm the informant. I'm the god who's here to save you." "Su Ye. What the F asterisk CK, is this guy crazy?" "God. He's crazy." "Su Ye. I've already applied to the police station to let you off the hook. Of course, that's on the premise that you haven't committed any other crimes. Can you come to the police station?" He was the informant. With so many guns seized this time, as long as there were no murders or other difficult cases on him, the police could deal with him leniently. "I'm the informant, not coming busy." "Su Ye. What are you busy with?" "I'm the informant, make money." "Su Ye. Black-hearted money, right?" "I'm the informant. When will my reward money be transferred to me?" "Su Ye." In the end, Shisheng defeated Su Ye with a strategic threat and received the reward for reporting her. It wasn't much, but it was enough for her to snowball. Anyway, she wasn't doing anything big, so she could earn it slowly. On Friday, Shisheng arrived at the basketball stadium in front of everyone's eyes. Why is she here? Didn't she look down on these things in the past? Look at what she's been doing these past 2 days. I think she's crazy. We'd better stay away from her. That's right, that's right. Shisheng suddenly leaned over. "Ah, there's a ghost." A few girls screamed in fright when Shisheng suddenly leaned over. Whether they screamed because there was a ghost or because of the crazy Shisheng, no one knew. The girls scrambled to leave, and the people around them also moved away one after another. The strange phenomenon of an empty court in the crowded basketball stadium made everyone turn their heads repeatedly. It wasn't until Jiang Qinjing brought people into the stadium that the die-hard fans started screaming. Jiang Qinjing's complexion wasn't very good, and there were obvious bruises under his eyes. He ignored the screams and walked straight to the lounge chair. Feng Xiaoxuan didn't arrive until the game was about to start. Prince Charming. Prince Charming, look over here, Prince Charming. Feng Xiaoxuan forced a smile at the die-hard fans. When she saw Shisheng dominating one side of the stadium, anger surged in her eyes, but she quickly suppressed it. For some reason, Feng Xiaoxuan felt embarrassed at this moment. The girl on the stage had an indifferent expression and an arrogant posture, like a high and mighty monarch. And she was an insignificant clown for her to make fun of. Feng Xiaoxuan clenched her fists. She had nothing, so what right did she have to act like this? Luoshu, let's wait and see. Feng Xiaoxuan straightened her back and walked towards Jiang Qinjing. The die-hard fans were too far away, and Shisheng couldn't hear what they were saying. When the game started, the die-hard fans screamed even louder, and the whole basketball stadium was boiling. Feng Xiaoxuan's arm was injured, and Jiang Qinjing's foot was very painful. The two of them were playing in a strange way, and mistakes could be made from time to time. The die-hard fans were a little confused by the situation, but it didn't stop them from being infatuated. They were good-looking enough, and even if they just stood on the court with the ball and did nothing, they would still be excited. Feng Xiaoxuan was indeed quite handsome, and her short hair completely revealed the shape of her face. If someone didn't know, they would think that she was a beautiful young man at first glance. Two beautiful young men playing basketball, to be honest, was quite pleasing to the eye. However, Shisheng wasn't very interested. The simultaneous scream scared Shisheng so much that he almost jumped out of his chair. Damn it, why were they screaming in unison? She looked up at the court, and saw that Jiang Qinjing seemed to have sprained his foot, and was sitting on the ground. Jiang Qinjing had no clue what had happened last night. He had fainted inexplicably, and was awakened by the gunshot. Then he found that his leg was very painful, as if he had encountered a ghost. Chun, are you okay? Han Yuan helped Jiang Qinjing up. I'll take you to the infirmary. Feng Xiaoxuan accidentally bumped into Jiang Qinjing just now, and who knew that he would fall down just like that? She didn't know whether she should go up or not. Jiang Qinjing was in so much pain that his head was covered with cold sweat, and he couldn't speak. Han Yuan helped Jiang Qinjing out, and when he passed by Feng Xiaoxuan, he frowned and glanced at her. There was obvious displeasure in his eyes. Han Yuan was Jiang Qinjing's right-hand man, and he had never liked Feng Xiaoxuan. This woman appeared suddenly, and there were too many doubts about her. However, Jiang Qinjing was very interested in her, so he could only remind him indirectly. No one expected this to happen, but Jiang Qinjing's die-hard fans saw it clearly when Feng Xiaoxuan bumped into Jiang Qinjing. The fans of both sides started a war of words in the audience. It was their instinct to protect their idols unconditionally. Feng Xiaoxuan did it on purpose. She's a girl, and you call her Prince Charming every day. Don't you feel disgusted? Now she deliberately bumped into our Qinjing. Trash. You're the one who's disgusting. Your whole family is disgusting. Our Prince Charming is the best. She definitely didn't bump into Jiang Qinjing on purpose. Stop talking nonsense and smearing our Prince Charming's reputation. Everyone saw it with their own eyes. Who's smearing his reputation? Feng Xiaoxuan did it on purpose. She used such a dirty trick. Don't you feel disgusted? Say that again. The die-hard fans in the audience started a war of words, and they started a fight. Shisheng shook his head and stood up from his seat. Maybe it was because he was angry, but no matter who it was right to fight. Shisheng was unfortunately involved. Chapter 1325. Shisheng was pulled by a girl, and was almost thrown to the spectator's seat. Without any die-hard fans, the pretentious Shisheng was very angry and threw the girl down. Shisheng's movements were so big that the fans around him looked like their Achilles' heel had been hit. They all maintained their fighting positions and stared at Shisheng with their eyes wide open. What are you looking at? She started it. Shisheng clapped his hands and looked at them with a half-smile. If you want to fight, go outside and kill as many as you can. What's the point of fighting here? Get out of the way. Shisheng's aura was so strong that the fans couldn't help but let go of each other to make a path for Shisheng. Shisheng walked out of the path and left slowly on the stairs. Only when his figure disappeared from the basketball stadium did the crowd look at him in confusion. F***CK fight? I'm not scared of you. Let's fight. The fight in the basketball stadium was very serious. It could be seen from the way it replaced Shisheng on the broadcast. However, not long after, Shisheng succeeded in getting back on the broadcast. Shisheng felt that he didn't belong in this stupid school. Everyone wanted to fight with him. So what if he went bankrupt? Did he lose his human rights because he went bankrupt? The Dean of Teaching went on the broadcast and asked Shisheng to go to the office to receive an education. The Dean of Teaching couldn't find him. If he could, he would have brought the security guards to arrest him. Shisheng couldn't be bothered with the Dean of Teaching who was in late menopause. He found a quiet place to stay and play with his phone. When he unlocked his phone, he saw a screen full of messages from Suye. Suye, brother, do you dare to reply? Suye, my salary is going to be deducted until next year. Please reply. Suye, are you there? Suye, brother, are you there? Shisheng flipped through the messages upside down. Suye had been sending her messages since the morning. Looking at the time, she must have sent them when she woke up. The latest message was 10 minutes ago. No report today, what? Suye. What a weird name change. Suye. I thought you blacklisted me. No report today, tell me. Suye. Nothing. I'm just curious. Who are you? I won't report it today. I'm a righteous lay phone. Host, do you feel any guilt when you say this? How could she say something like that? Where was her shame? Nope. Who doesn't know how to brag? Hee hee. Acting tough will get struck by lightning. Suye. ***, tell me, what's your name? Where do you live? How old is he? What are you doing? Not reporting today. ***, Leifeng Tower, 77 do-gooder. Suye. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Hidden mission. Flirting with the wind and the moon. Mission target. Su Tuesday mission objective. Understand by yourself. Buttface found it strange that Shisheng hadn't scolded him for a long time. Suddenly, he found that his host was in a daze. After a long time, she clicked on the WeChat list. There were only 2 people in the list. One was Suye, and the other was Su Tuesday. Su Tu's avatar was dark. She clicked on the big picture. In the darkness, there was a very subtle flashing spot. It couldn't be seen after it was shrunk. If someone has to compromise, I admit defeat. Shisheng stared at the picture for a long time. Finally, he pulled the corner of his mouth and smiled. It was really torturous. Su Tu, the biggest boss in the novel, had a personal grudge with Jiang Qinjing. He had always wanted to kill Jiang Qinjing. Of course, he was killed by Jiang Qinjing and Fang Xiaoxuan in the end. The content of the grudge was unclear. Anyway, there was a grudge. It was necessary for the plot. Su Tu talked about money. No, he only talked when he had money. If he didn't have money, he would talk according to his mood. His behavior was strange, his temper was strange, and he was vengeful. He was a villain who was hard to please. Shisheng. So, now she had to chase after a retard who only cared about money? She was very poor, okay? Why was it so difficult to raise a wife? Shisheng looked at his little savings and sent a red envelope to Su Tuesday. Su Tu accepted it immediately. Maybe she thought it was too little, so she didn't reply. Shisheng. Shisheng continued to send more. It wasn't until he sent another 2 red envelopes, totaling 500 yuan, that Su Tu sent 2 words. Su Tu say it. I'm wrong. It was 1 word plus a period. 500 yuan was only worth 1 word plus a period. On Friday morning, only an idiot would reply to her with so many words. Don't report today. Little brother, are you short of a girlfriend? Su Tu ignored her. Shisheng transferred 500 yuan. Su Tu no. Very good. 500 yuan was only worth 1 word. There was no period. Don't report today. I'm short of a girlfriend. Little brother, do you want to date? After sending the message, She transferred 500 yuan. Sutu no. 1,500 RMB, and all he got was 3 words and a full stop. Shisheng began to doubt life. She had to go bankrupt to chase after him, right? Shisheng put away his phone. It was better to make money. Without money, she couldn't even flirt with a little brother. In a hotel in Country Tea, Sutu leaned against the window and looked at the WeChat interface on his phone. Don't report today. Little brother, are you short of a girlfriend? Don't report today. I'm short of a girlfriend. Little brother, do you want to date? She didn't reply after that. Sutu clicked on Su Ye's message and her fingertips slid quickly on the screen. Sutu, 1,000 yuan. I'll give you a clue. Su Ye, brother, ancestor, I have no money. The bureau also has no money. Please don't cheat us anymore. We don't want to eat kimchi every day. Sutu didn't have the desire to continue the conversation. He went out and turned off the screen. Su Ye called him immediately. Sutu thought for a while before answering. Brother, where are you? Our family said you didn't come back. They couldn't find you anywhere. Are you missing? Su Ye roared over the phone. It was harder to find a person who disappeared without saying a word. That case has nothing to do with me. It doesn't matter whether I'm here or not. It's not this. The bureau chief asked you to help check the IP address of the informant. Your price is too high. Can you reduce it? After all, we are blood-related siblings. Don't cheat me like this. No bargaining. Can't you give me a discount? No. Sutu, you only care about money. You deserve to be single. I wish you a lifetime of being single. Su Ye was so angry that she wanted to hang up the phone. But when she thought of the clue that Sutu mentioned just now, she calmed down. What's the clue you mentioned just now? Sutu didn't answer, but he didn't hang up the phone either. Su Ye said weakly, Got it. I'll transfer it to you later. She's a girl. Beep, beep, beep. Su Ye didn't come back to her senses for a long time. That was it. For words were worth 1,000 yuan? Sutu, you bastard. Su Ye was so angry that she wanted to smash the phone. But when she thought of how poor she was recently, she immediately calmed down and kicked the table. Ouch. Su Ye hugged her feet. She was in so much pain that tears came out. Other people in the office looked at Su Ye with a dumbfounded face. What are you looking at? Haven't you seen that bastard Sutu bullied me? Su Ye yelled at them with tears. What are you laughing at? Don't laugh. Everyone was silent. Only Sutu could make Su Ye like this. Su Ye's family was not poor, but she liked to spend the money she earned. However, the salary of a policewoman was so little. Usually, it was not enough for her to spend. Besides, Sutu cheated her. Her credit card was almost maxed out by her. She didn't understand. Everyone in the Su family was generous enough to spend money casually. Why did Sutu only care about money? Chapter 1326. Luo Shu from Class 9 of first year, please come to the school gate. Someone is looking for you. Shisheng raised his head from a pile of papers and scratched his head in confusion. Why did the broadcast change? Luo Shu from Class 9 of first year, please come to the school gate. Someone is looking for you. The broadcast repeated again. She didn't hear it wrong. But the original owner was a general without an army who would look for her. Forget it, I don't know her anyway, so I won't go. Shisheng continued to make money. The broadcast stopped after 2 times, but it started again the next day. Some students went outside the school to watch the drama, and soon a post appeared on the BBS. After the post about her being sick, there was another post about her being cold-blooded and heartless. There was a photo of a woman in her 40s. She looked very haggard, like a woman doing manual labor in the mountains. She was also dressed sloppily. Shisheng stared at the photo for a long time, and finally came to a conclusion. She was the original owner's aunt. When the Luo family was in trouble, she didn't even call back, let alone show up. She was afraid that she would be implicated. But this aunt married well. Although she wasn't from a rich family, her husband's family went abroad to develop in recent years. She didn't have to worry about food or clothes. How did she end up like this? Was she lying to her? No, she didn't have anything now. Why did she make herself like this to lie to her? Did she want to sell her to the mountains? Scared. Don't see me. Shisheng continued to play dead. The posts about her being cold-blooded became more and more popular on the BBS. Even the weird basketball game between Fang Xiaoxuan and Jiang Chen a few days ago was suppressed. Fang Xiaoxuan swiped the screen and looked at the discussion on it. Her face kept changing. Buzz buzz buzz. Fang Xiaoxuan looked at the name and walked to a remote place with the phone. Then she picked it up. Hello. Boss, there is something wrong with Luo Yan. Fang Xiaoxuan frowned. What is it? We found out that her husband is doing well abroad. She came back dressed like this. We don't know what she wants to do. Fang Xiaoxuan was silent for a moment. Maybe we can make use of it. That woman didn't go out of the school at all. The dean's people were waiting outside the dormitory every day, but they didn't catch her. If she didn't come out, how could she make a move? The risk of killing someone in school was too high, and it was not easy to clean up the mess. Side mission. I have a family heirloom. The system suddenly spoke. Shisheng's head fell down and hit the laptop. The black screen of the laptop immediately lit up. Shisheng rubbed his forehead. His sudden voice scared the hell out of him. Cat biscuits. Wait a minute. Where did the original owner get her family heirloom? The original host left the house with nothing, okay? Other than clothes and a cell phone, there wasn't even a note on him. 10,000 points. Following the previous incident, the system didn't say much in case it angered her. Shisheng carefully searched through the plot and the memories of the original owner of the body. He was sure that the original owner of the body had no family heirlooms. So what the hell was this family heirloom? How can it be considered complete? Found a family heirloom. Shisheng. Get lost. I was busy making money. Who would be interested in looking for family heirlooms? You can do whatever you want. It knew that nothing it said could change her decision, unless she thought it through herself. So the system quickly admitted defeat and went offline. Shisheng tapped on the keyboard, pushed it away, and took out his cell phone to send Su2 a WeChat message. A bunch of idiots. What are you doing? Transfer 500. The reply to Shisheng was a picture of flowers blooming in spring, facing the sea. No, I didn't see any flowers. I only saw a group of long legs. A bunch of idiots. You'd better check it. Transfer 1000. Su2, not interested. Shisheng pondered for a long time. It should be understood that he was not interested in the group of long legs. A bunch of idiots. Then what kind of girls are you interested in? Transfer 500. Su2 no. Shisheng. F***ck. This idiot was too realistic. He replied with 3 words with symbols for 1000, and 1 word without symbols for 500. A bunch of idiots. Where are you? Shisheng only transferred 200 this time. Sure enough, Su2 didn't reply. 300, no reply. 400, no reply. 500, no reply. 1000. He sent the picture again. A bunch of idiots. Su2, do you only care about money? Shisheng didn't transfer the money. Naturally, she didn't get a reply. After she transferred the money, Su2 replied, yes. A bunch of idiots. How much is it to keep you as a mistress? Name your price. Shisheng transferred 2000, but Su2 didn't reply for a long time. After a while, he sent a picture. Only the words in the picture could be seen. As for the rest, there were a lot of strange payments listed on the picture, such as travel expenses, clothing expenses, monthly allowance. What the hell is monthly allowance? It's not buying a house. What the F***ck? Finally, there was a string of zeros. Shisheng counted the string of zeros and was desperate. A bunch of idiots. Can I pay in installments? Su2 no. A bunch of idiots. Then I'll go rob a bank. Shisheng threw away the phone and sighed heavily. Su2's location had been changing. Even if she chased after him, she might not be able to catch up with him. Even if she caught him, she couldn't afford to keep him as a mistress. She was too poor. Luo Shu from class 9, grade 10. Please come to the school gate. Your aunt is looking for you. Here they come again. Shisheng scratched his head. The school didn't mind the drama. It was a good aristocratic school. Why did they have to make it like a brainwashing cult and hang her name all day long? The dean couldn't beat Shisheng, nor could he catch her. Naturally, he could only assimilate the students in the school. They had a common enemy. Shisheng put on his headphones and ignored the nonsense of this group of idiots. Luo Yin waited at the school gate for several days, but didn't see anyone. She was so angry that she wanted to rush into the school and beat them up. However, she couldn't. She had to keep such an attitude. Luo Yin lowered her head and kept cursing. Luo Shu, you little bitch. You didn't come to see me. Do you think you're the eldest daughter of the Luo family? Why are you so rude to me? Are you Ms. Luo Yin? Suddenly, it was dark in front of Luo Yin. A tall man stood in front of her. Luo Yin looked up at him. Who are you? Our lady wants to talk to you about Luo Shu. The man reached out and grabbed Luo Yan's arm. He didn't give Luo Yin a chance to resist and took her to a car. Who are you? Who is your lady? You'll know when you see her. The man was so strong that Luo Yin couldn't break free at all. Luo Yin pulled back hard and didn't want to go with the man. Let me go. Let me go. I don't want to go. What do you want to do? However, the man held her up and quickly pushed her into the car. The door was closed. Luo Yin was pressed on the seat. No matter how she shouted, she couldn't break free. Chapter 13:27. Luo Yin was blindfolded and taken to a strange room. She was tied to a chair. Luo Yin was scared, but her voice was not low. Who the hell are you? This is kidnapping. You kidnappers. I want to call the police. Let me go. No one paid attention to her. After tying her up, they went out one by one. Luo Yin cursed in the room for a long time, and no one paid attention to her until her mouth was dry. After a long time, the door was pushed open with a click. The man who kidnapped her and a man in a mask came in. Luo Yin immediately became agitated. Her eyes were bloodshot, and when they were wide open, they were very scary. She shouted in a hoarse voice, "Did that bitch Luo Shu ask you to kidnap me? Ask her to come out to see me." Feng Xiaoxuan deliberately lowered her voice to make it sound like a boy's voice. It was a little hoarse. Ms. Luo Yan, don't be agitated. We didn't ask you to come here because of Luo Shu, but it does have something to do with her. You call this inviting? Luo Yan shouted. You're kidnapping me. It may be a little rough, but it's to prevent you from attracting more attention. Ms. Luo Yan, cooperate with us. We won't hurt you. If you don't cooperate, don't blame us for being rude. Feng Xiaoxuan paused. You came back to China alone, and you told your husband that you went out for a trip. So even if you disappeared, no one would suspect anything. Ms. Luo Yan, what do you think? Feng Xiaoxuan's voice was neither light nor heavy, but it was full of threat. Are you really not with Luo Shu? Luo Yan swallowed hard, perhaps because she was frightened. No. Luo Yan looked at Feng Xiaoxuan. What do you want? Feng Xiaoxuan waved her hand and motioned the people behind her to go out. Shisheng received a call from Luo Yan on a bright afternoon. She had just spent money to flirt with the young man, but the young man just gave her a cold reply. No. Shisheng, who received Luo Yan's call and failed to flirt with the young man, was very upset. She spoke naturally and proudly, which shocked Luo Yan for a long time. Was this her niece? Luo Shu, it's me, aunt. What do you want? You don't have money or life. Shisheng's tone was very unfriendly, like a lit cannon that could explode at any time. Where did this cheap aunt find her phone number? It must have been given by that idiot, the dean. This number was the original owner's. She didn't change it, so the school must have a backup. The head of teaching wanted to make life difficult for her. Damn it, she had to find something for him to do. Luo Shu, I came back to see you. Come out and let's talk face to face. Luo Yan held back her anger and tried to act like an elder. No. Shisheng hung up the phone. Luo Yan continued to call, but Shisheng blocked the number directly. Unexpectedly, Luo Yan changed the number and sent a message. Luo Shu, when something happened at home, I wasn't in the country so I couldn't come to you in time. It's my fault. Can you come out and let me talk to you? Shisheng set his phone to block all unknown numbers. She was not going to clear Luo Yan's dungeon. Just because he said he wasn't going, he wasn't going. He was so stubborn. Shisheng opened the school forum and typed out the titles. 818 Our menopausal, deranged teaching director. The teaching director was still having a lunch break when someone suddenly called him to check the forum. After reading the post, the teaching director almost fainted with anger. The teaching director hurriedly called the administrator of the forum to delete the post. Sir, our forum has been hacked. All the administrators have been blocked. They can't delete it. The administrator explained hesitantly. What? The teaching director covered his chest and roared. Who did it? Who on earth did it? The administrator. The forum was hacked so easily. How could they know who did it? The teaching director asked them to contact the computer science students for help. A group of computer science students of the university worked hard for a long time, but it was useless. Knock knock. Who is it? The teaching director was furious. Shisheng pushed the door open and went in. The teaching director was already angry, and at this time, he was even angrier. Luo Shu, what are you doing here? He didn't ask her to come today. I'm here to give you something. Shisheng put the envelope in his hand on the table with a smile. Sir, if you make trouble for me again, I won't just give you these things. The teaching director's eyes widened. He took the envelope and opened it. A stack of photos and a few documents fell out. He picked up the photos with trembling hands. Shisheng supported himself on the table. What do you think your brother will do to you if he finds out that you secretly transferred assets and slept with his wife? Not everyone could be the teaching director of Snowwich. If one's family didn't have some capital, they wouldn't be qualified to enter the school. This was also the reason why the teaching director dared to target the students in the school. Where did you get these things? She was still a child. Where did she get these things? Did you post the post on the forum? Isn't it obvious? Shisheng looked at the teaching director, as if he was looking at an idiot. You. The teaching director looked at the photos and documents in his hand. He was angry and scared. A poor girl dared to threaten him. What do you want to do? The teaching director saw Shisheng go around the table and walk towards him. He suddenly became nervous. Shisheng cracked his knuckles. Collect some interest. Don't shout. It won't be good if others see you embarrass yourself. The teaching director was speechless. So you're still thinking about me? The teaching director was beaten up. He couldn't say anything, but he didn't dare to offend Shisheng. He didn't know where the things in his hand would appear if he didn't do what he wanted. Shisheng didn't delete the post on the forum either. The teaching director couldn't stay in the school because of the negative news. He didn't want to see Shisheng, so he resigned. He couldn't afford to offend him, but he could hide. Han Yuan and Jiang Qinjing sat on the rooftop. Han Yuan suddenly raised his phone. Chen, this person is interesting. He even forced the teaching director to leave. Jiang Qinjing glanced at it. He wasn't very interested. The police station is very strict recently. Our people should keep a low profile. I'm not responsible for anyone who gets caught. Han Yuan took the phone back and became serious. I can't find any clues about what happened last time. What's the intention of the person who put us down? The police were there that day. If it was to save them, why did they hurt Chen's leg? If they had a grudge, why didn't they do it when they were unconscious? It didn't make sense. It was very strange. Some people even said that they saw ghosts and went to the temple to ask for a protective talisman. Everyone said that they didn't believe it, but they brought the talisman with them. Chapter 1328. Jiang Qinjing. Feng Xiaoxuan stood below, holding a shoulder bag, her face full of pride. I'm sorry about last time. Let me treat you to dinner. After the accident in the basketball game last time, they didn't mention the bet again. Sure. Jiang Qinjing revealed a small smile, which made his face even more radiant. Young Master Han, are you coming too? Feng Xiaoxuan raised her chin at Han Yuan. Han Yuan frowned, hiding the displeasure in her eyes. She stood up with Jiang Qinjing, obviously wanting to go with them. The three of them walked out of the school together, causing the fans to scream. Shisheng heard their voices from afar. She impatiently shook off Luo Yan, who was holding her. This woman was still waiting outside. She was caught red-handed as soon as she came out. If she had known, she would have climbed over the wall. No, she didn't do anything. Why would she climb over the wall? It was as if she was afraid of her. Luo Shu, can't you listen to me for a while? I have something important to tell you. Luo Yin caught up with Shisheng. Her posture was very humble, as if she was begging her. Ah, it's Jiang Chunjing. Prince Charming, I love you like a mouse loves rice. Han Yuan. The fans who were watching Shisheng and Luo Yin dutifully turned their attention to the trio coming out of the school. Hey Luo Shu, why are you blocking the way? Our Prince Charming Jing is coming out. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Don't think that Prince Charming Jing will like you. Shisheng looked coldly at the fans who were asking her to get out of the way. How big is your Prince Charming? The school gate is so big and wide. Is he a asterisk? Does he want to walk alone? The fans. What did she mean? It took a while for someone to react. Luo Shu, what do you mean? How dare she say that their Prince Charming is fat? Their Prince Charming has a standard body, okay? You know what I mean, idiot. Luo Shu, can you be any more despicable? No matter what you do, Prince Charming won't even look at you. Just give up. Shisheng was speechless. If you're not a girl, how did you infer that I have improper thoughts about your idol? His imagination was toxic. Even if he gives it to me, I don't want it. Who wants the male lead? It's not like he's her daughter-in-law. The girl was enraged. Her beautiful eyes widened. And the glint in her eyes was, how dare you despise my Prince Charming? What qualifications do you have to despise my Prince Charming? Therefore, the girl ignored her idol and threw herself at Shisheng. When one of them made a move, the others followed suit. They had long wanted to teach Shisheng a lesson. Although she had beaten someone up before, most of them had only heard about it and had never seen it. Now that their idol had been despised, these die-hard fans erupted with all their might. They were determined to teach this arrogant woman a lesson. Jiang Chunjing and the others had just approached the school gates when a fierce battle suddenly broke out in front of them. The three of them were stopped inside. They were forced to watch a group of people being knocked down by Shisheng. She's Luo Shu. Han Yuan poked Jiang Chunjing. This name had been on the radio recently. It was impossible for them not to be familiar with it. Moreover, they had also suffered from the fall of the Luo family. Jiang Chunjing narrowed his eyes as he looked at the girl standing in the crowd. He saw arrogance in Feng Xiaoxuan. She was different from those delicate girls. She was very admirable. As for the girl, she was also arrogant, but she was even more arrogant. I was the most arrogant person in the world. Her arrogance made people want to beat her up. Shisheng patted his clothes and said faintly, "Who else wants to be beaten up?" The die-hard fans lying on the ground wailed. There were so many of them, but they couldn't beat her. Feng Xiaoxuan glanced at Jiang Chunjing from the corner of her eyes. Seeing him staring at Shisheng, her eyes darkened. Before she could say anything, Shisheng looked over and smiled ambiguously. She walked past the frightened Luo Yin, stopped a taxi and left. This Luo Shu. Han Yuan's tone was strange. Her eyes just now were too calm. It was so calm that people couldn't help but be shocked. She had experienced the fall of the Luo family. Could she have grown to this level? Shisheng received a bombardment of messages from Su Ye. He found a random place to eat and opened the messages. Su Ye, did you rob a bank? Su Ye, did you do it? Su Ye, damn, are you there? Su Ye kept asking the same questions over and over again. She wanted to know if she was the one who robbed the bank, and if she was the one who did it. When did she rob a bank? Shisheng first opened up the web and searched for news about the city. One of the websites had already announced that a bank in the city had been robbed an hour ago. Damn. Robbing a bank in broad daylight? These people are really something. A group of idiots. I'm not free. Don't accuse me. Su Ye, you didn't do it? Su Ye replied immediately. From her question marks, it was enough to see how excited she was. A group of idiots, no. Su Ye directly sent a picture. It was the chat record between her and Su Tuesday. It was the last sentence she said, that she was going to rob a bank. A group of idiots. How much did he sell it to you? Su Ye. You know him well? The police had been investigating this account, but there was no clue at all. Now the owner of this account had hooked up with Sue Tuesday. Her brother. Even if a criminal gave him money, he would help as long as he was happy. Of course, he would sell it again halfway to make a profit from the police. Don't ask why they didn't arrest him. There was no evidence. A group of idiots. It's okay. I plan to hit on him. Suye, damn, are you really a girl? A group of idiots. Is there a problem? Suye. She started to doubt her life. How could a girl be so powerful? Suye, you didn't rob the bank? A group of idiots. I just said it casually and you believed it? I also said that I want to be a prostitute. Are you going to sue me for rebellion? Besides, robbing a bank is illegal. I make money through legal means. I'm a decent person. Suye, you said it as if it's true. Last time, you live-streamed the transaction of the triad. How can you be a decent person? Shisheng changed the interface to Sue Tuesday. A group of idiots. It's not fun to play like this. You're lying about the military intelligence. Damn it, he betrayed her. Sue Tu ignored her, but Suye kept sending messages. Suye, why are you so stupid? You want to hit on Sue Tu? A group of idiots. It's easy to hit on him. Suye. Who are you? You must know Sue Tu. You want to use this method to get close to him, right? You must be stupid to fall in love with him. TSVDSK. Suye turned on her detective mode. A group of idiots. Are you very free? Don't you want to solve the robbery case? Suye. This case is not under our control. A group of idiots. So, why did you spend money to buy information from Sue Tu? Because you have a lot of money? She didn't really understand the world of the rich. She quietly ate the potato. Asterisk on April 15, 2017, Cherub Mo Yuan. In the book review area. Hashtag today, I'm begging for a strawberry-flavored vote hashtag little cuties. Please move your little hands and vote hashtag. Chapter 1329. Suye didn't appear in the plot, but she and Sue Tu shared the same surname. And she was disrespectful to Sue Tuesday. She and Sue Tu were at least related by blood. Shisheng could tell that this Suye was the one who was slow-witted, and the one who liked to get angry. Shisheng clicked on her profile picture to take a look. She was wearing a military uniform and looked very energetic. She was definitely a beauty after dressing up. Why did she become a police officer? Suye. Let me tell you, if you really want to chase Sue Tu, you have to be prepared to go bankrupt. You might not even succeed. A group of idiots. Is it appropriate for you to say this to a suspect? She is still the focus of the police, right? Suye, I didn't say anything about work. It's okay. A group of idiots. I suspect that if I ask you, you can tell me too. Suye, the most important thing is that if you really want to chase Sue Tu, you have to show up. I can catch you. A group of idiots. Thank you for reminding me. I won't show up. She actually had such an idea. Were all young ladies these days so scary? Suye. Shisheng didn't want to chat with the simple-minded Suye. He felt that his IQ was being insulted. She transferred 500 yuan to Sue Tuesday. Sue Tu still didn't reply. That meant he wasn't around. After dinner, Shisheng strolled around the street. Unknowingly, he wandered to the scene of the bank robbery. There was a cordon outside the bank. The onlookers were pointing at the inside. Many media outlets were broadcasting the scene. The robbers nowadays are so bold. They dare to rob a bank in broad daylight. I heard that they even have guns. It's so scary. Fortunately, I wasn't here at that time. It was really scary. If we met the robbers, we would be finished. I don't know if they can catch them. All the robbers ran away. None of them were caught. When the police arrived, they only saw the tail of the robber's car. Why else would the police be the last to arrive? Shisheng watched for a while. He didn't find it interesting and turned to leave. Host, someone is following you. Shisheng walked forward without looking sideways. Butt-face, let's be honest. Tell me what you want. When it reminded him, there was definitely something going on. Other people's systems would alert them at the slightest sign of danger. Her system, hee. If it wasn't for the fact that it couldn't get out, It would have stepped on her when she was unlucky. What a lousy system. Nothing. I just wanted to remind the host. The system said very seriously. What kind of lousy host was this? My good intentions were treated as ill intent. Shisheng was doubtful. Why would you be so kind? Take it that I'm poisoned. If the system could smile, it would definitely smile at Shisheng. He's seriously ill. Shisheng nodded solemnly. Hurry up and let your retarded master treat you. If you delay any longer, you'll be in the terminal stage. Smile. Host, tell me, how did you live to this age without being beaten to death? Because I'm powerful. Those who wanted to kill me were all killed by me. Shisheng smiled with curved eyes. A disguised threat. The system will not give in. Go offline first. The system immediately went offline. Idiot. The system's detection range was definitely wider than hers. It should be right when it said that someone was following her. Shisheng walked towards a less crowded area. When there were fewer people, she immediately discovered the person who was following her. His tracking skills were good, but she could also tell that he wasn't a police officer. If the police had such tracking skills, they wouldn't let important suspects escape every time. She had to deal with this idiot first. Shisheng turned directly into an alley, but she realized that the person behind her didn't chase after her. Shisheng. What the F***ck did he mean? Shisheng immediately went back and caught up with the stalker. Hey. The stalker was stunned. Anyone would be stunned when a stranger suddenly called out to them. He asked curiously, "What's the matter?" Shisheng narrowed his eyes and smiled. "I want to learn from you." He bent his knee and aimed it at the stalker's lower body. The stalker reacted quickly and avoided his private parts, but he was still hit. The stalker seemed to be shocked. A second later he flew into a rage. "Are you crazy?" Shisheng grabbed his shirt and flung it aside. Two people suddenly started fighting on the horse. It was a large-scale fight, which immediately attracted the attention of passers-by. The stalker was probably afraid that people would take photos, so he quickly ran towards a less crowded alley. He was originally the stalker. Why was he the one being chased now? The stalker couldn't figure it out, but he felt that he would die if he didn't run away from the girl who was chasing after him. The alley was full of twists and turns, and soon there were fewer people. Shisheng chased the stalker all over the alley. Just as he was about to lose her, she suddenly appeared from another alley. Huff huff. The stalker leaned against the wall and panted. Are you a woman? He was running out of energy, but she still managed to catch up with him. Which part of me doesn't look like a woman? Shisheng panted and pointed his finger up and down. The stalker was panting heavily. Why are you chasing me? Why are you following me? I'm not following you. The stalker refused to admit it. If you're not following me, then why are you running? Can I run if you don't hit me? Can I hit you if you don't follow me? Shisheng kicked him. Why was she beating around the bush with him? Damn it, her IQ was gone. The stalker had no energy at all, and was kicked to the ground by Shisheng. His face was red and he glared at Shisheng angrily. Come on, tell me, who asked you to follow me? I'm not following you. The stalker still said the same thing. Let me tell you, it's illegal to hit people like this. I can sue you. Then go ahead and sue me. Do you want me to beat you up? The stalker was speechless. I'll talk. Let go of me. The stalker was sweating profusely. He gritted his teeth and roared. This girl was too ruthless. You should have said so earlier. It's tiring for me to break your arm. Shisheng let go of his hand and sat on an old box next to him. Tell me, who asked you to follow me? The stalker felt that his arms were broken, and he could not feel them at all. I don't know who it is. He gave me money to follow you and then report you to him. Shisheng frowned. Wasn't it Feng Xiaoxuan? Could it be Mu Bai? Shisheng took out her tablet and opened the page. He scrolled on it for a long time. The name Mu Bai that was circled in red was now gray. He was not in this world. Is it a man or a woman? The stalker shook his head. I don't know. We contacted each other through the internet. I really don't know why I'm following you. Give me your contact details. The stalker was afraid of losing his life and did not dare to say anything else. He gave the contact details to Shisheng. Get lost. The stalker struggled to get up from the ground. You. Why didn't he ask him to keep it a secret? Why did he let him go just like that? So easy? Shisheng looked up at him. Murder is illegal. The stalker was scared out of his wits and ran away. Chapter 1330. Hey, she found me. Well, I fooled her, but she's a little strange and powerful. Why should I follow her? Well, okay then. The stalker hung up the phone, his face full of hesitation. He calmed himself down, turned around and walked out of the empty alley. He stopped abruptly at the entrance of the alley, and a figure was reflected in his eyes. The girl was leaning against the old brick wall, her left foot bent with the heel against the back and her right foot slightly stretched forward. She crossed her arms in front of her chest and smiled at him mischievously, her face full of evil intentions. The stalker's Adam's apple bobbed and he took a step back. The next second he turned around and ran away. However, this alley was a dead end, and there was no way for him to escape. The girl over there strolled over leisurely, as if she was strolling in the back garden. Why didn't he notice that she was following him? How long had she been following him? How much had she heard? The stalker's heart was full of panic at this time. His back was against the wall, and his legs were a little weak. Did he meet a fake girl? Shisheng raised his hand and touched his chin. I gave you a chance to live, but you didn't want it. You just had to court death. Tell me, are you retarded? There were always people who thought that they were lucky, but unfortunately, not everyone had the luck. The stalker. Who the hell knew that you would follow I? The stalker rolled his eyes and shouted at Shisheng. I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The girl opposite him laughed in a low voice, and her laughter was crisp, echoing in the quiet alley. No, I don't believe you. Buzz buzz buzz. The phone on the table suddenly vibrated. A fair hand felt around on the table, and finally found the phone after a few tries. Shisheng raised his head from his arms and looked at the phone screen. His eyes were a little sore, and the light from the screen was so dazzling that it hurt. Last night, in order to deal with the body, he ate melon seeds for most of the day in the alley. He only dealt with the body at night. When he came back, he checked something and only took a short nap just now. Sue too, she doesn't handle cases. Shisheng was a little confused when he saw these words. He scrolled up and realized that Sue too was replying to his words. Shisheng got up from the table, yawned with his chin in his hand, and replied slowly. She was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Little brother, why don't you ask who I am? Wasn't he curious at all about chatting with a stranger? I'm in a bad mood and want to report you. 20,000 yuan, I'll give you an hour. Sue too 50,000. Shisheng. Holy shit, bargaining. 50,000 an hour? Why don't you go rob a bank instead? Shisheng glanced at the price of 500 yuan per word. It seemed that 50,000 yuan was not that expensive. If I'm in a bad mood, I want to report. Send me your account number. Su Tu didn't send her his account number, but Su Ye did. Su Ye, what a tycoon. You actually spent 50,000 to buy Su Tu for an hour. Why didn't you buy me? He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. You are not Su Tuesday, Su Ye. Su Ye, who do you want to report? Su Ye glanced at the name Shisheng had changed and asked subconsciously. I'm in a bad mood and want to report. You want to know? 50,000. I guarantee that your police department will make a great contribution. Su Ye. It was removed from Su Tu's body. Did they have to get it back from the police station? Did these two people work together to cheat the police station? Su Ye was so poor that she couldn't afford to pay someone to report her. So she didn't ask anymore. She would just pretend that nothing had happened. Life should be lived to the fullest. When it's time to pretend to be a fool, she should pretend to be a fool. Shisheng transferred the money to Su Ye's account. The account name was Su Ye. Was Su Tu afraid that she would find him? He was so cautious. Su Tu. Now it's 8:26 in the morning. From 9:26, my time belongs to you. As soon as the money was transferred, Su Tu sent such a long message. Money can make ghosts talk. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Do you always answer my questions? Su Tu. Special questions need to increase the price. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. How poor are you? Su2, not poor. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. If you are not poor, why do you only care about money? As a big boss, you are definitely not poor. But this setting is simply poisonous. Su2. Every word is priceless. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. You want to say that I have to pay to talk to you. This shows that you have a high status. Not everyone can talk to you, right? Su2, you can understand it that way. Shisheng was silent. She got up to get a glass of water. She took a sip and then replied. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Anyone can talk to you with money? Damn it, if he dared to reply yes, she would definitely kill him. Su2 replied after about a minute. Su2, no. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Is this question difficult? Do you need to hesitate for so long? Su2, the internet is not good. Shisheng's mouth twitched. He talked nonsense with Su2 for half an hour. As long as Shisheng sent it, Su2 would reply immediately. However, there was no useful information in his answers. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Do you have a girlfriend? Su2, private question, 100,000. Puff. Shisheng almost dropped her phone. Why don't you rob a bank for 100,000? She only had a little more than 100,000 in her card. If she went, she would be poor again. Su2, no. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Do you mind having one more girlfriend? Su2, I have sent you the price list. He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Are you selling yourself? Su2, don't you want it? He was in a bad mood and wanted to report. Then you sell yourself to whoever has money? The man in tea country leaned on the table and chuckled. He looked sideways at the table. There were a few documents on the table. The most eye-catching one was a picture of a girl. The girl stood among a group of people lying on the ground and wailing. She was so arrogant that it was dazzling. He withdrew his sight and looked at the time on the top of the screen. It jumped from 25 to 26. Su2, time's up. Su2 exited the chat interface and threw his phone on the table. There were only 2 contacts in his address book. Luo Shusuye. Shisheng looked at the phone with melancholy. She couldn't stop the thought of kidnapping him back. She immediately turned on the computer to check his location. After removing layers of camouflage, she finally located his location on the map. This is the place. How dare you play with I? I will kill you. Shisheng exited the map and looked at the open document. There was information about Feng Xiaoxuan, and some information about the underground forces under her name. Feng Xiaoxuan sent someone to follow her. At this time, that person was missing. Feng Xiaoxuan must have known it by now. Then, I will make you busier. Shisheng packaged the information and sent it to other underground forces. The price was 500,000 yuan. This price was considered low. Feng Xiaoxuan had sent someone here before she returned to China. Now it was considered a relatively powerful underground force in the city. She suddenly jumped out to snatch the territory. Would the local tyrant agree? Of course not. However, the people of Rose were cautious. They couldn't find the opportunity to do anything to them. Now that there was an opportunity, they naturally had to take a gamble. The most important thing was that Shisheng had the black material of them. If they didn't buy it, she would report it. They had to buy it. This was a forced sale. What was the number of the Bureau of Industry and Commerce? They wanted to report it. Asterisk, the above is pure nonsense. Please don't imitate or take it seriously. Chapter 1331. Shisheng flew to Tea Country that night. Just as she boarded the plane to Tea Country, Su2 boarded the plane to return home at the same time. The plane took off and rushed into the sky. He looked at the clouds outside the window with a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. Why don't you go to heaven? Su2, you better not let me catch you. The man stood outside the airport and looked at the message on WeChat. He was in a good mood. His fingertips slid on the screen, and a few words popped out. Su2, I'm waiting for good news. Why don't you go to heaven? Su2, you idiot, just you wait. Shisheng was so angry that he wanted to kill Su Tuesday. Why was this man so annoying? What happened to the compromise? Damn it, liar. Break up. Su Ye went home and saw that the young master of the Su family was there. Her eyes almost popped out. The missing person actually came back. Did the sun rise from the west? In the past, they couldn't get the missing person back if they didn't have money. The man on the sofa had a casual posture, but he had a noble temperament. The side of his face was smooth, as if he was a handsome man who had been carefully sketched. The light from the crystal lamp scattered into a piece of broken light in his eyes, like crushed starlight. Even though Su Ye had looked at him for more than 20 years, she still felt that he was so good-looking every time she looked at him. Sigh. Why was she related to him by blood? When Su Ye thought of Su Tu's bad behavior, she immediately shook her head. She didn't want this kind of man even if she was beaten to death. His good looks couldn't cover up the fact that he was a bastard. Su Tu stretched out his hand to Su Ye. Su Ye. What? 50,000. Su Tu reminded her. I was wondering why you came back for no reason. Su Ye rolled her eyes. Hashtag what to do when you have a money-grubbing brother. Waiting online, it's urgent. Hashtag Su Ye gave the card to Su Tuesday. Su Tu got up and wanted to leave. Su Ye quickly pulled his arm. Su Tu looked at her, and she hurriedly let go of his arm. She pulled his sleeve. Brother, let me ask you something. Su Tu pulled his hand back. Give me the money. Are they siblings? No. Su Ye. Why do I have a brother like you? I'll give you the money, okay? Su Ye wailed. What's your relationship with the informant? How do you know she's a girl? She even said that she wanted to hit on you. Is that true? Su Tu thought for a while. It's related to money transactions. Su Ye. Su Ye reminded Su Tu. She is still a suspect in the bureau. Don't do anything with her. You want to capture her? The source of the information that she reported last time was unknown, and she was suspected to have made a move at the scene. The director said that it was not safe to leave such a person outside. Su Tu's smile deepened. Don't waste your energy. You won't be able to catch her. How do you know? Su Tu added. Even if you catch her, you can't do anything to her. Su Ye glared at him. How did you know? Tell me honestly, what's your relationship with her? Are you guys in cahoots with the police? How is her style similar to mine? Su Ye thought for a moment and said resolutely, I need money. The first time he reported her, he asked for money. This time, he asked for money before he even reported her. Isn't his style similar to yours? She wouldn't believe that they weren't in cahoots. Su Tu smiled faintly without saying a word. He walked up the stairs. Feng Xiaoxuan was very unlucky recently. Several industries under her name were destroyed. Even 2 of her strongholds were found. The other party was aggressive and well prepared. They didn't have the power to fight back and their strongholds were taken away. At this time, Feng Xiaoxuan was sitting in a dark corner of the private room with an ugly face. 2 men were sitting on the other sofa. They were both handsome and dashing. The man in the flowery shirt spoke first. There must be a traitor among us. The man in the black shirt next to him scolded. Don't talk nonsense. Only our own people know about the strongholds. If it's not a traitor, how can those people know? They are so well prepared. If no one told them, how can they know so much? The man in the flowery shirt was furious. It's not absolute. We have to find out the truth first. The man in the black shirt frowned. The brothers he brought back were all trustworthy. He didn't want to suspect who was the traitor. I don't believe that they... Enough. Feng Xiaoxuan interrupted the man in the flowery shirt. In order to prevent more losses, you should take your people and leave first to preserve your strength. We will talk about the rest after the situation stabilizes. But, the man in the black shirt pressed the man in the flowery shirt. Boss, don't worry. Feng Xiaoxuan rubbed her eyebrows. The people who followed Luo Shu are missing. She must have known. This woman is getting more and more difficult to deal with. Have you found anything? No, there are no traces of forces behind her. The man in the black shirt shook his head. No background? Without background, how could she be so bold? Feng Xiaoxuan was upset. In her plan, this Luo Shu was not difficult to deal with, but at this time, she couldn't deal with her for so long. The Luo family has been divided up. What ability does Luo Shu have to turn over? Boss, if you want me to say, just send someone to kill her. The man in the flowery shirt didn't like to beat around the bush. If I could kill her, would I not do it? She felt troublesome because she couldn't kill her. If she could really kill her directly, that would be good. She didn't care about anyone at all, even Luo Yan, who was related to her by blood. The time she left the dormitory could be counted on one hand. Sometimes, she would have returned to the dormitory before the people on her side could be arranged. Can't you just go to the dormitory and kill her? At that time, you can make it look like she jumped off a building. Anyway, the school's BBS didn't say that she was crazy. There's nothing wrong with a lunatic jumping off a building in the middle of the night, right? Fang Xiaoxuan was still a little worried. After all, it was at school. But at this time, she was eager to kill Shisheng. She thought that the man in the flowery shirt's proposal was also feasible. You go and arrange it. Let the best person do it. Okay. The man in the flowery shirt immediately went out. What about Luo Yan? The man in the black shirt asked Fang Xiaoxuan. They had planned so many things, but Luo Yan didn't take the bait at all. Fang Xiaoxuan's fingertips tapped on her knees, and her voice was full of hatred. Kill her. Everyone in the Luo family deserves to die. What they did to her family in the past, now she would get back at them. I will take care of it. The two were silent. After a while, the man in the black shirt stood up and said hesitantly, Boss, have you been too close to Jiang Qinjing recently? Fang Xiaoxuan's heart thumped. Had she been too close to Jiang Qinjing recently? The pictures of them getting along recently flashed in her mind. It seemed that there were a lot of them. She quickly suppressed the strange feeling and said coldly, If I don't get close to him, how can I take revenge? I have a blood feud with the Jiang family. He is the son of my enemy. I will never like Jiang Qinjing. You can rest assured. As long as boss understands. The man in the black shirt bowed slightly to her and left the box. Asterisk hashtag pleading for votes hashtag pleading for votes hashtag. Chapter 1332. The moonlight shone through the glass window, projecting the leaves outside into the room, forming a mass of shadows on the ground, like a monster baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. The person on the bed hugged the quilt to sleep, revealing half of her face. Her fair long legs were on top of the quilt, as if she was tempting him to commit a crime. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and looked in the direction of the window. A black shadow was standing there, the curtain behind her fluttering, like a ghost in the middle of the night, silent. Su Tu sat up calmly and stared at the black shadow by the window. You came so quickly. If I didn't come so quickly, were you planning to run away again? The black shadow took a few steps forward, revealing her face. Shisheng had a very strange feeling in her heart. She no longer needed any proof. She knew that the person in front of her was him. Su Tu did not answer her. Miss Luo Shu, don't you think it's impolite to barge into a strange man's room in the middle of the night? This retard really knew who she was. Shisheng gritted her teeth. Not only did I barge in, but I also want to sleep with you now. Su Tu was still calm, even with a faint smile. 1 million a night. Miss Luo Shu, do you want to pay by card or cash? Shisheng walked to the bed, pushed him down roughly and turned over. Pay with your body. She leaned over and kissed him. Su Tu did not avoid it, but he did not respond to her. Shisheng propped herself up and looked at him. The latter opened his eyes and looked at her directly. Miss Luo Shu, do you think it's fun to force me? Shisheng frowned. I don't have so much money. He actually had to pay to sleep with his own wife. She was not a prostitute. Miss Luo Shu, when you have so much money, can you come again? Shisheng was silent. The branches outside the window swayed. The room was full of light and shadows, and it was dead silent. After a while, she relaxed and took out a card from her pocket. Let me hug you for a while. Su Tu pinched the card, the corners of his mouth curved. Fine, I'll give you a discount. Su Tu reached out and pulled Shisheng down, put her aside and hugged her gently. Can anyone give you money? Shisheng leaned on his chest, her voice was calm, no emotions could be heard. Miss Luo Shu, do Do you think everyone has the ability to climb through my window in the middle of the night? Do you think anyone has the right to make me open the window for him in the middle of the night? Sutu smiled. I'm really honored. An hour later, Shisheng got out of bed and walked to the window. She turned around and said, I'm leaving. Miss Luoshu. Sutu stopped her. Shisheng turned to look at him. In the dim light, the man's silhouette was so clear. Actually, you can stay. The money in your card is enough for me to hug you for the whole night. No, I'm afraid. Shisheng's voice was a little soft. She grabbed the window and jumped out. I'll leave it with you. Her figure disappeared from the windowsill. Outside, the demons were dancing wildly. No sound of her leaving could be heard. Sutu pinched the card and laughed in a low voice. Luoshu, welcome to my world. Shisheng slept with his wife for an hour, and his savings decreased rapidly. In order to support his wife, who was worth a fortune, Shisheng planned to borrow money from loan sharks. After thinking about it, he decided that selling antiques would be more profitable. Shisheng didn't see Luo Yan at the school gate. He felt strange. Did his cheap aunt give up? She found the largest antique market in the city and chose the largest and best shop. As soon as she entered, she wanted to see the boss. She looked like an underage girl. The shop assistant thought that she was here to make trouble. After Shisheng took out the items and confirmed that she was here to sell things and not to cause trouble, the shop assistant politely invited her into a room inside. Miss Luo, this thing. The boss looked embarrassed after looking at it. How is it fake? The boss waved his hand quickly. No, how can it be fake? It's just that I can't set the price of this thing. I have to ask some old experts to have a look. Shisheng rolled his eyes. Wasn't it suspected that it was fake? Take a look. The boss smiled apologetically. Miss Luo, please wait a moment. The boss reached out and wanted to take the thing away. Shisheng stopped him. Boss, if you want to see it, come here. What if you take it away and secretly exchange it with mine? Don't think that I'm easy to bully just because I'm young. The boss withdrew his hand embarrassedly and explained, here's the thing. Those old experts are all old. When we have something, we usually send it to them to have a look. I don't want to sell it. Shisheng took the thing into his arms. It seems that you are the only one who can sell it. The boss was anxious. Miss Luo, don't be angry. I'll send someone to pick them up. Take a seat and wait for a moment. Shisheng smiled. Boss, be a kind person. Don't cheat people who shouldn't be cheated. Did he mean that he could cheat people who should be cheated? Of course not. We are all businessmen. How can we cheat people? The boss smiled apologetically, but in his heart he was wailing. Why was this little girl like a fairy? Go and ask them. Shisheng waved his hand. The things she was selling were worth at least 100 million yuan. The shop was too small to handle it. Even if it could handle it, it would take time to raise so much money. The auction would take too long. She couldn't be bothered to wait. As long as the boss didn't go too far, everything would be fine. If he dared to have any other ideas, then he shouldn't blame her for smashing the shop. The boss quickly asked the people to come back. The old men discussed for a long time, and finally set the price at 120 million yuan. The boss was very sensible, and didn't make any trouble. As Shisheng said, don't cheat people who shouldn't be cheated. This little girl didn't look like someone who could be cheated easily. The things she sold were worth the money. It wasn't a loss. Miss Luo, the price is a little high. The management has sent a financial officer to pay you in person. Please wait for a moment. The financial officer didn't come quickly. Shisheng was a little impatient after having dinner with them. When the financial officer finally arrived, it was almost 6 o'clock in the evening. Miss Luo, I'm really sorry for the delay. Why don't we treat you to dinner? The boss invited Shisheng politely. I have an appointment. Then I won't delay Miss Luo any longer. If you have any good things next time, Miss Luo, we will definitely give you a satisfactory price. Shisheng glanced at him. With this money, she didn't need to sell things. If he had known that his wife loved money so much in this world, he would have made money earlier. Seeing Shisheng leave, the financial officer came out. Which family is this little girl from? Despite his young age, he was as calm as a veteran in the business world. I haven't seen her before, but she shouldn't be simple. The boss told the financial officer about what happened in the afternoon. The financial officer sighed. Fortunately, you didn't offend her. The boss also sighed. After so many years, if I can't see this, I don't need to work anymore. The financial officer laughed and patted the boss's shoulder. Okay, I'm going back. Send someone to send the things back. Okay. Chapter 1333. Shisheng not only spent money to ask Su2 out, but he also had to pick him up. Did I owe him something in my past life? Shisheng took a taxi to Su family's house. Before he rang the doorbell, a girl rushed out and bumped into him. Ouch! Who's the blind one standing in front of my house in the middle of the night? The girl covered her chest and shouted before she could see who it was. Shisheng was speechless. Suye. Suye looked up with a strange expression. There was a girl standing in front of her house. She seemed to be underage. She coughed and pretended to be a kind elder sister. Little girl, who are you? Who are you looking for? Tuesday, Su2. Su2. Suye felt that she might have an auditory hallucination. A girl actually came to look for that bastard. What kind of crazy thing did Su2 do to this little sister? Su2, something big happened. Suye shouted at the top of her voice. Su2 came out from inside and stood at the door looking at them. Don't you have a case in the police station? Why don't you leave? Suye pointed at Shisheng. Su2, what did you do to her? Su2 walked over with his hands in his pockets. Suye could only look up at him because of the height difference. Su2 looked at Shisheng with a faint smile. Why don't you ask me what she did to me? How is it possible? You must have done something to her. She was underage. What could she do to you? Su2 walked past Suye, who was shouting. Let's go. Where are you going? Suye caught up with them. Su2, I'm telling you. Don't be a bad influence on this little girl. Don't be so crazy. She turned her head and said to Shisheng, little girl, he's not a good person. Don't be fooled by him. Did he bully you? Tell me, I'll help you take revenge. Shisheng answered honestly. I paid him for dinner. Suye choked and pointed at Tuesday. Su2, are you crazy about money? How can you earn money from an underage girl? As long as it's money, what's the difference? Su2 took a few steps outside with his long legs. He frowned. Where's the car? Young master, I don't have a driver's license. Shisheng narrowed his eyes and smiled. Su2 said without hesitation, more money. Shisheng nodded seriously at Suye. He's indeed crazy about money. Hey Su2, are you listening to me? What if an adult comes to find you? Her brother actually deceived a minor. Should she arrest him or not? Su2 waved at her and walked toward a car parked outside. Shisheng hurriedly followed him. Suye was so angry that she stomped her feet. She was holding the phone and complaining to someone. Su2 calmly drove the car out of the villa area and onto the road. Where are you going? You decide. Are you sure? Su2 turned to look at her. Yes. Shisheng nodded and acted like a gigolo. I have money. You can spend it however you want. Su2 didn't say anything. A soft song sounded in the car. Shisheng shrank in his seat and looked at Tuesday. Su2 held the steering wheel with one hand and put the other hand on the window casually. The wind outside the window blew his hair. It was pleasing to the eye no matter how he looked at it. Shisheng looked at Su2 for as long as he drove. Miss Luo Shu, if you keep looking at me like this, I'll charge you. Shisheng took out 2 banknotes from his pocket and stuffed them into his hand. Su2's smile deepened. He unfastened his seatbelt. We're here. Get off the car. Shisheng glanced outside. The words Chengxiang Restaurant were very conspicuous in the night. Su2 stood outside the car and waited for Shisheng. He motioned Shisheng to go over. Miss Luo Shu. What? Su2's sight slid down to his bent arm. Shisheng took his hand directly and chuckled. Add more money. Su2 thought of adding more money, so he gave up struggling. He held her hand and went into the restaurant. Su2 seemed to be an acquaintance. Everyone in the hall cast a strange look at him. This Su2, he was a weirdo in the circle. Everyone was not willing to cooperate with him, But they were also not willing to offend him. Generally, those who cooperated with him would be cheated badly. Of course, if they offended him, they would be cheated even more badly. The best way was to keep a distance and not look for trouble. Su had a lot of gossip. Sometimes they had to deal with this young master of the Su family who didn't inherit the family business properly, but liked to make money by spreading gossip. Generally, before they looked for him, they would be prepared to be cheated. Well, they also had to make sure that he didn't have a heart attack. After entering Chengxiang restaurant, these people looked at him from afar. No one came forward to greet him. You don't seem to be very popular. Shisheng looked around. Su pressed the elevator button. I charge you to talk to me. Shisheng's mouth twitched. When you sleep at night, why don't you sleep with a pile of money? Su cast a sidelong glance at her and smiled inexplicably. Shisheng had goosebumps. What are you doing? Su looked serious. Miss Luoshu, you can't win my heart like this. Shisheng didn't care. You can buy it with money. Su. The elevator just arrived. Su took Shisheng into the restaurant and blocked the sight of the people outside. As soon as they left, the hall immediately became lively. Who's the little girl who was held by Su? I don't know. There's no such girl in the Su family. Su doesn't even let men touch him. Su Ye has a good relationship with him. I didn't see them having any contact when they attended the event. Today he held the little girl's hand and came in. Could she be an illegitimate daughter? Are you kidding? How could Su have such a big illegitimate daughter? Could it be? Su likes this kind of girl? Everyone looked embarrassed. Su didn't have any women around him. Everyone guessed that he was gay. But later, they found that he didn't have any men around him. He was always alone. Occasionally, he would be with Su Ye. Su Ye always stayed far away from him, as if she was afraid of being charged if she got close to him. But today he brought an underage girl and held her hand, so a piece of news immediately spread in the circle. The eldest son of the Su family had a unique taste. He liked little girls. How fast the news spread in the circle. When Su Ye received the news, she was rushing to the battlefield. She was so angry that she almost crashed the police car into a telephone pole. Su, are you crazy? Su Ye gritted her teeth and drove the car back to the main road. She called Su at the same time. However, Su didn't pick up at all. After 2 more calls, he turned off his phone. Before she could get through, Su's mother called him. Su Ye wanted to cry but had no tears. Before the mother said anything, she wailed. Auntie, don't ask me first. I don't know what happened. I'm working now. I'll call you when I'm done. That's all. Su, you're killing me. How did she end up with such an elder brother after suffering for 8 lifetimes? Su Ye turned off the private phone. Only then did her ears become quiet. Asking for Su Ye's psychological shadow, hahaha. Hashtag asking for votes of fragrant vine today. Hashtag asking for votes on Monday. No matter what the votes are, I want to cry. Hashtag monthly votes. Monthly votes. Hashtag. Chapter 1334. Su ordered. Shisheng looked at the price at the back of the menu. It was okay. The price was not sky-high. Of course, it was for her now. If it was before, she would not be able to pay for a meal even if she sold herself. What would you like to order? The waiter asked Shisheng politely. Shisheng closed the menu with a bang. No need. The waiter smiled. Okay, please wait a moment. I have to spend a lot of money to treat you to a meal. Shisheng supported his chin. Miss Luoshu, don't you feel honored to have dinner with me? What the hell? How shameless. I had to pay for treating you to a meal. She had to pay for the meal. She had to pay even if she didn't have a car. She even had to pay for holding hands. What kind of honor is this? I spent money to buy it, okay. Shisheng sneered. I'm such a good financial backer. You have to hold on tight. Not everyone is willing to let you spend money like this. Su's expression was a little strange. Will you buy me whatever I want? Yes. Bye. What if? Su deliberately dragged his words. I want a woman? Shisheng looked up and stared straight into his eyes. Go to hell. The conversation ended when the waiter brought in the food. Su Tu ate quickly, but he was also a picky eater. He did not touch the dishes served on the table at all. Sheng suspected that he ordered these dishes because the string of zeros at the back of the menu looked better. If he wasted food like this, he would be caught and educated in a small dark room. He needed to be taught a lesson. Miss Luo Shu, why are you looking at me like this? Sheng smiled. Young Master Su, have you finished eating? Yes, it's okay. Su Tu commented like a big boss. He took the water on the table and took a sip. Then can we go to the hotel? Pfft. Su Tu couldn't help but spit out. Cough. Su Tu quickly calmed down and wiped his mouth with a tissue. Miss Luo Shu, don't worry. I brought enough money this time. Sheng interrupted him and dragged him out of the restaurant. Su Tu tried to talk to Sheng, but he was interrupted by Sheng. It was not until they got into the car that Su Tu tugged at her collar. Miss Luo Shu, I wanted to tell you that there are guest rooms in the restaurant. Sheng replied calmly. Oh, I can't afford to sleep in a room that's too expensive. Get me a cheaper one. Su Tu was speechless. Su Tu did not start the car immediately. He calmed his breath and suddenly leaned close to the Sheng. Do you really want to sleep with me? Sheng's eyes widened and he bristled. How else could it be fake? You said 1 million a night. Why are you going back on your word? Su Tu's low laughter rang in the enclosed carriage. I'm afraid that you'll go back on your word. Why do you like me? Do you know what love is? Just because of my face? If that's the case, I advise Miss Luo Shu to consider it carefully. At the end of his words, the expression on his face suddenly became serious. The two of them were very close to each other. Sheng could see the pores on his face. She suddenly raised her hand and wrapped it around his neck. Then she pressed her lips against his. Su Tu was shocked. He subconsciously stepped back, but Sheng was a little strong. He could not retreat. The sound of his heart beating in his chest was so real. But she was like a phantom in a dream. Her kiss was intense with a strong sense of possessiveness and emotions that he could not distinguish. However, it made him feel distressed for no reason. Sheng's lips brushed against his cheek and landed beside his ear. Because it's you. There was nothing more delightful than having the person you liked fall in love with you. Su Tu reached out and pressed on Sheng's waist. He pushed her away and smiled faintly. Miss Luo Shu, you're still young. We can take our time to get a room. She was still underage. Sheng frowned but did not refute. Send me back to school. Why? Don't you want to stay with me for a while? You take the money. Su Tu pinched her face. I won't take it this time. Sheng looked at him suspiciously. If you don't take the money, what do you want to do with me? Su Tu changed his words smoothly. Then Miss Luo Shu, how about paying 20,000 yuan to buy 2 hours of my time with you? No, I'm poor. Su Tu. Sheng did not follow the routine. Su Tu was a little confused. If he had known it earlier, he would not have done it so quickly. Forget it. Su Tu sent Sheng back to school. He watched her skillfully climb over the wall, and then drove away. His empty heart seemed to be filled with warmth. He was not so lonely anymore. When Su Tu reached home, he was stopped by Su Ye. She was still wearing her police uniform. Apparently, she had rushed back after finishing her work. Su Tu ignored her and went straight upstairs. Su Ye followed him and shouted. Su Tu, tell me, what do you want to do? How can you lay your hands on an underage girl? What do you mean? Are you crazy about women? You can find a woman outside. It's better than an underage girl. Su Tu, what are you thinking? How old is she? How can you do this to her? Su Tu, don't think that it's okay if you don't talk. This matter is big now. Your mother has bought a plane ticket and flew back overnight. Su Ye saw that Su Tu wanted to enter the room. She immediately rushed to block the door and stared at Su Tu with her beautiful eyes. Su Tuesday, this is my business. Su Tu finally spoke. His eyebrows were slightly cold. You'd better not interfere. You have to bear the consequences. Get out of my way. Su Ye was most afraid when Su Tu's face was cold. She felt scared and involuntarily moved away. Bang! When the door was closed, Su Ye woke up. She reached out and knocked on the door. Su-tu, are you crazy? When your mother comes back, you will make trouble. Don't blame me for not reminding you. Su-tu stood in the room. The sound outside the door stopped. He took out his mobile phone and opened WeChat. There was an unread message. Luo Shu, I've arrived at the dormitory. I met 2 little mice. It's so troublesome to deal with the bodies. Su-tu frowned. He felt that there was something wrong with these words. But when he looked carefully, there seemed to be nothing wrong. He did not reply for a long time. Luo Shu transferred another 500 yuan to him. Su-tu smiled and shook his head. Su-tu, how big is the mouse? Luo Shu, 18 meters. This mouse is a demon. Su-tu's face suddenly became cold. When he typed, it seemed that there was a murderous aura. Su-tu, someone wants to kill you? Luo Shu, there are many people who want to kill me. Sigh, I will talk about it later. I will go and deal with them first. Su-tu stared at the screen for a moment. He turned and went out with the car key. Su-ye was still talking on the phone in the living room. When she saw him coming down, she immediately stared at him. Su-tu, where are you going? Su-tu strode out of the living room. Su-ye. It was really troublesome for Shisheng to deal with the corpses now. The iron sword could not be used because it was upgrading. She did not have the legendary corpse dissolving water. It took her a lot of effort to deal with the corpse last time. Shisheng squatted in the dormitory and ate melon seeds. He stared at the corpses and was worried. How to deal with them? Send them to Feng Xiaoxuan. She could deal with her own people. There was no problem. Just do it. Then there was a problem. Which dormitory did Feng Xiaoxuan live in? Chapter 1335. Shisheng hacked into the school system and found Feng Xiaoxuan's dormitory and room number. He dragged a corpse and was about to throw it down. Before he opened the window, a black shadow suddenly appeared from outside. What the F***ck? There's an accomplice. Where's Ai's sword? The person outside looked at her through the window. Shisheng's mouth twitched and motioned him to move aside. She threw the corpse aside and pushed the window open. What are you doing here? I climbed through your window once, and you still have to climb back. Su-tu's gaze fell on the ground behind her. He stepped on the windowsill and entered. Miss Luo Shu, I need to remind you seriously that as my future partner, you have the obligation to protect yourself. Aren't I fine? Shisheng paused. Wait, what do you mean by partner? What do you mean by partner? How dare this idiot say that? Su-tu squatted down to check the corpse. However, the topic was completely unrelated to the corpse. You want to be my girlfriend? Nonsense. Miss Luo Shu, it's very expensive to be my girlfriend. You have to save money first. Shisheng sneered. You have the nerve to ask a girl to save money. Is there a man like you? Other CEOs bought. Her president. I want to buy and buy. Buy my ass. Yes, didn't you meet one? Su-tu said seriously, as if his behavior was worth showing off. Shisheng bent down to look at him. Young Master Su, can you be more shameless? Compared to Miss Luo Shu, I'm still inexperienced. Su-tu tilted his head and looked at him. After all, Miss Luo Shu wanted to sleep with me the first time we met. You didn't resist. How dare he ask for a price? I don't think I can beat you. Resistance is futile. He paused. Besides, Miss Luo Shu seems to be very indulgent towards me. She would either ignore or hit other people. That day, she really wanted to sleep with him. He probably couldn't run away. However, he just showed a little reluctance and she gave up. Shisheng leaned on the table behind him and crossed his legs. Do you like me to indulge you? Su-tu turned around and held her in his arms. He looked down at her and answered with a smile. This feeling is very good. If it was someone else, even if it was Su-ye, he wouldn't be able to accept it. But she was different. Her indulgence of him seemed to be a very natural thing, and he did not dislike this indulgence. I'm glad you like it. Shisheng moved closer to him. Su-tu immediately stepped back. Let's deal with them first. I don't want to talk about love with you in such an environment. Shisheng rolled his eyes and threw the corpse out of the window. Then he went to drag the other corpse over. Fortunately, she didn't live high up, so throwing a corpse onto the lawn in the middle of the night didn't make much noise. Su-tu looked at her series of skillful movements as if she had practiced them before. The corner of his mouth could not help but twitch. How many people has Miss Luo Shu killed? He was so skilled at disposing of corpses. Shisheng raised his eyebrows and looked at him. Why? You want to report it to Su Ye? Su-tu immediately acted like a businessman. Su Ye's offer is not as high as yours. It's good that you know. Shisheng jumped out of the window. Wait for me in the dormitory. I'll go with you, Su-tu said without hesitation. No need. I like you to be clean. When it was not necessary, she liked him to be clean like a noble young master who was flattered by others. She could block all the darkness for him, although he had never been a clean person. Su-tu did not insist and waited for her to come back in the dormitory. He looked around the dormitory casually. Shisheng's dormitory was very messy, but it was not dirty. The table was full of papers. He took out a few papers and looked at them. Some of the papers were recorded, and it was quite serious. She just threw them on the table casually. Was she not afraid that others would take them away? He put the papers back. A few books were exposed under the papers. Su-tu felt that the covers were a little strange, and took a look at them. His face turned black after seeing them. When Shisheng came back, he found that the dormitory was empty. Su-tu had left. Shisheng was speechless. He left just like that. He was really not friendly at all. Shisheng glanced at the table. He should have moved it. Damn it. Where were her books? Shisheng immediately took out his mobile phone and sent a WeChat message to Su Tuesday earn 1 billion first. Did you take my books away? Su-tu. Don't read books that are not suitable for children. Earn 1 billion first. You don't let me do things that are not suitable for children. You also don't let me read them? Su-tu, don't go too far. I also have a temper. Su-tu, you are still young. Don't always think about these things. Su-tu, how did you deal with the body? Su-tu forcibly changed the topic. Earn 1 billion first. I threw it at the door of Feng Xiaoxuan's dormitory. Su-tu was speechless. Who was Feng Xiaoxuan? However, Shisheng did not reply to Su-tu's message. Feng Xiaoxuan had the habit of getting up early. As soon as she opened the door of the dormitory, someone fell in. The hard and cold touch made Feng Xiaoxuan's blood freeze. Feng Xiaoxuan quickly looked around and saw that no one was there. When she was about to drag the body back to the room to deal with it, the door of the dormitory next to her suddenly unlocked. There were 2 bodies. It was too late for her to drag them back. Feng Xiaoxuan could only change her strategy. She slammed the door hard, making a violent collision sound. She screamed at the top of her voice. The people in the opposite dormitory just came out and asked nervously, "What's wrong? Is it an earthquake or a fire?" Feng Xiaoxuan shrank behind the door and pointed to the 2 bodies that fell in front of her door. Both of their faces were gray. At first glance, she knew that they were not normal. Moreover, they were men. Ah! The girls on the other side also screamed at the top of their voices. The girls on the whole floor were awakened by the noise. Then there was a chorus of screams. Someone died in the girls' dormitory. The police arrived soon. Because it was a murder case, it was directly taken over by the municipal bureau where Su Ye worked. They questioned everyone in detail, including Feng Xiaoxuan. I don't know. Feng Xiaoxuan was usually a very calm person in school, so she was not flustered at this time. However, her slightly pale face could not be ignored. In fact, she was also afraid. This invisible fear made her very afraid. It was less likely to arouse suspicion than if she lost her composure or acted out of her usual style. Feng Xiaoxuan spoke very slowly. As soon as I opened the door, a person fell in. I saw that it was a man, so I screamed. The students in the opposite dormitory heard me and came out. That was all she could say. The girl in the opposite dormitory proved that she had already opened the door. Then she heard Feng Xiaoxuan scream. As soon as she came out, she saw 2 men lying in front of Feng Xiaoxuan's door. After the forensic examination, the time of death of the 2 men was around 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. There were some bruises on their bodies, which should be left from a fight. However, the fatal injuries had nothing to do with those injuries. One was cut in the neck, and the other was pierced in the chest by a murder weapon. They were both killed with one stab. It was obvious that the murderer was a veteran. A newbie could not have done it so quickly. There was very little blood at the scene. It was obvious that the murder scene was not here. Chapter 1336. The girls' dormitory was locked at 10 o'clock. The door was an electronic lock. Without the dormitory's access card, no one could open it. How did the deceased get moved here after being killed? Nothing was found on the victim's body. The police investigated the scene several times. Feng Xiaoxuan's dormitory was the focus, but they found nothing. The police didn't have any evidence. After questioning Feng Xiaoxuan, they let her go. Feng Xiaoxuan came out from a circle of police officers. The onlookers pointed at the dormitory building, and the fans were concerned about her safety. Feng Xiaoxuan forced a smile. "I'm fine." She squeezed through the crowd and moved away. She didn't dare to contact anyone. Any action at this time might arouse the police's suspicion. She didn't expect Luo Shu to be so powerful. She could quietly send someone to her dormitory without leaving any evidence. Even if Feng Xiaoxuan knew that Shisheng did it, she couldn't identify her at this time. She would expose herself. The best way now was to pretend that she didn't know anything and not lead the police. If she led the police, that woman would definitely make corresponding countermeasures. She might even drag her down. "Luoshu, I can't underestimate you anymore." Feng Xiaoxuan's shoulder was suddenly patted. She subconsciously released a murderous aura, but it was only for a moment. She turned her head and Jiang Qingjing's face appeared in her sight. "Feng Xiaoxuan, are you okay? I heard that someone died in your dormitory?" "I'm fine. It's just scary." "You can be scared." Jiang Qingjing seemed to be surprised. Feng Xiaoxuan's face turned pale. "It's different from a usual fight. Someone died." Jiang Qingjing seemed to want to catch something from Feng Xiaoxuan's face. Unfortunately, he didn't find anything. He echoed, "It's scary. If you're scared, I'll accompany you." "Who's scared?" "I'm not." Feng Xiaoxuan straightened her back, as if this could prove that she wasn't scared. However, her face didn't improve at all. Instead, it became even more fragile. "Idiot." Jiang Qingjing pulled her into his arms. "I see that you're so pitiful. Let me lean on you. Don't think too much." Jiang Qingjing's line of sight was blocked. The fragility on Feng Xiaoxuan's face faded away, leaving only coldness. Shisheng stood in the distance and looked at the two hugging each other. He crossed his arms and supported his chin with his other hand. The bet on the basketball game was over. The progress of these two people was just a little slow, but there was no sign of them dying. The female lead and male lead still had a big catfight later on. After all, the female lead came back for revenge, and the male lead was the son of her enemy. The two of them loved each other, so it would be strange if they didn't fight. However, this ending was quite melodramatic. Because of the male lead, the female lead forgave the Jiang family. Back then, the mastermind who harmed the female lead's entire family was the Jiang family. The Luo family was just taking advantage of the situation. In the end, the mastermind was forgiven by the female lead, and the rest who took advantage of the situation were all destroyed. What the Luo family did back then was despicable. However, the Jiang family was despicable as well. They were all despicable. Why was it that the Luo family was destroyed while the Jiang family was left unscathed? Host, if Feng Xi had a grudge against you, what would you do? A question suddenly popped up in the system. Let's kill him. Don't you like him? Buttface, do you know that I'm cold-blooded and heartless? Even if I kill him, I can still like him. I can't not take revenge just because I like him. I don't really understand how the host's brain works. If you like someone, can't you let go of the hatred in your heart? When it came to her, whether she liked him or not, she had to take revenge first. What are you hinting at? Does Feng Xi have a grudge against me? You're thinking too much. It was just a casual question. There was no other meaning. Shisheng rubbed his chin twice. Other than those bastards from the Alliance, I really don't have any enemies. Those who offended me either went to hell long ago, or are on their way to hell. You really do have a grudge against the Alliance. He even dared to steal from the Galactic Alliance's special forces. It's all because I was young and frivolous. Shisheng sighed and reminisced. I was young and immature. I was too reckless. If it were me now, what would you do? I'm going to destroy those little bastards. Do you think the Alliance is weak? Do you think they can be destroyed just because you want to? The host forgot to take her medicine again. Her Chinibu syndrome is acting up again. It's better for her to quickly go offline. The school used its connections with the school board to suppress the media. This incident didn't spread. The police investigated the school for several days, but they didn't find anything. They couldn't even find out the identities of the two men. In order not to affect the school, the police had to withdraw from the school. Shisheng rarely went to class. The teacher's saliva was flying everywhere. Shisheng sat below and played with his phone enthusiastically. Earn a billion first. Xiao Yizi. Suye what? I'm very busy. I don't have time to chat with you. Who allowed you to call me Xiao Yizi? The bureau had almost given up on this account. The bureau chief only asked Suye to chat with her. He didn't say how to solve the problem. The bureau chief didn't know how to solve it either. The main thing was that there was no way to solve it. Earn a billion first. You guys were involved in the murder case at Chasnoag Royal Academy, right? Suye. How did you know? This incident wasn't made public, right? Normal people shouldn't know about it. Earn a billion first. Do you want to know who those two men are? Suye. You know? Earn a billion first. There's nothing I don't know. Suye, is that so? Then do you know what color of underwear I was wearing today? What did I eat this morning? Who did I meet on the way here? What did I do? Earn a billion first. This girl doesn't follow the rules. That's against the rules. Suye, don't make it sound like you're a scammer. If you're really a criminal, I'll catch you sooner or later. Earn a billion first. Do you want to know? Suye, the bureau is tight these days. I don't pay much for reporting. Earn a billion first. Who cares about that little money of yours? Suye. Then why did you care so much before? Earn a billion first. I was poor then. Suye, you're not poor now? Earn a billion first. Look at my name. Suye, it's very inspirational. Shisheng's mouth twitched. Was this girl really stupid or was she pretending? Earn a billion first. I've already saved money by earning a billion first. Do you think I'm poor now? Suye. Did you rob a bank in Country M? How can you earn so much in such a short time? You can't brag like that. Do you know how many years those people who robbed the bank last time were sentenced to? Earn a billion first. Even if I did rob a bank in Country M, you can't catch me. Are you stupid? Suye. She was actually speechless. Country M's robbery had nothing to do with their country. Earn a billion first. I sold some things. Suye, drugs? Earn a billion first. Young lady, why are you so dark? Can't you think better? Am I that kind of person? I'm an ambitious person. Why would I do something like that? Suye. Earn a billion first. Do you want to know? If you don't, then forget it. Suye, go ahead. Chapter 1337. Suye. Are you sure? Earn 100 million first. Was it on your autopsy report? That tattoo shouldn't be hard to find. The forensic doctor should change it. Suye. Yes, but we thought it was just a normal tattoo and didn't check it carefully. Also, how do you know it's a tattoo from the Rose organization? Isn't Rose a rose? Why did it have a jasmine tattoo? Are you crazy? Earn 100 million first. I think so too. Suye. Although Suye was skeptical, she still reported this matter to the chief. The chief looked at her with a terrifying gaze. It was as if she had done something unforgivable. Suye wasn't afraid of the chief scolding, but she was afraid that the chief would dock her salary. She was really going to eat dirt now. In the end, the chief just ordered someone to investigate and didn't make things difficult for Suye. Have a good chat with that person and get him to talk. The director ordered Suye while holding the document. Suye still hadn't recovered from the fear of her salary being docked. What do you want to talk about? What else? Bring him back. The chief was furious. Su-ye. That person was so smart. How could she get anything out of him? Chief, what kind of joke was this? Of course, Su-ye didn't dare to say anything. She was afraid that her salary would be docked, so she tactfully left. Luo Shu, Grade 1, Class 9, please go to the principal's office. Luo Shu, Grade 1, Class 9, please go to the principal's office. Ever since the dean left, Shi Sheng's name hadn't appeared on the school broadcast. Now it was on again, and this time it was directed to the principal's office. Shi Sheng ignored the broadcast and did what he was supposed to do. An hour later, a policeman knocked on her dormitory door. Are you Luo Shu? The policeman asked with a serious face. What's the matter? Luo Yan is your aunt, right? The policeman already had the information. The first sentence was just a formality. In terms of blood relations, yes. Why is she dead? Shi Sheng raised his eyebrows. The policeman narrowed his eyes and scrutinized the girl in front of him. How do you know she's dead? Shi Sheng looked at the policeman in amusement. She came to the school to look for me. We have a grudge. If she's not dead, why are you looking for me? The policeman. He had finished what he wanted to say. Who was the police? The policeman coughed to cover up his gaffe. He took out something from the file and placed it in front of Shi Sheng. Not long ago, we received a report that a body was found in the sewer. According to the investigation, she is your aunt Luo Yan. Luo Yan's body was soaked in the sewer, and it was rotten beyond recognition. It looked like she had been dead for a long time. Shi Sheng looked away after a glance. What's the cause of death? Seeing that Shi Sheng was so calm, the policeman took out another photo from the file. She was stabbed in the chest with a sharp weapon. I didn't kill him. Shi Sheng crossed his arms and said. I don't know why she was killed. The last time I saw her was at the school gate. I haven't seen her since. Luo Shu, you can't just say that you don't have it. Please go back to the police station and cooperate with our investigation. The police officer put the things away. Shi Sheng shrugged. When did she die? The decomposition of the body is too serious. It's probably between May 16th and May 17th. Shi Sheng swiped his phone twice and put it in front of the policeman. I was in Tea Country on May 16th and returned on the evening of May 17th. The policeman glanced at her ticket purchase record and asked the person behind him to verify it. Even if you returned at night, you still had time to commit the crime. Shi Sheng tilted his head and chuckled. I got off the plane at 3 o'clock in the morning. There are surveillance cameras from the airport to the Nanyuan Villa area. I stayed in the Nanyuan Villa area for more than an hour, and then I took a taxi back to school. Officer, these can be found. The policeman. How could this little girl be so calm? Nanyuan Villa area? What were you doing there? Who can prove it for you? This is my private matter. The policeman looked serious. Miss Luo Shu, if you want to prove your innocence, please don't hide anything. I went to find Su Tuesday. Su Tu? The young master of the Su family? The policeman's expression was strange. Shi Sheng just nodded. The policeman immediately called the station and asked Su Ye to ask Su Tu if he was with her that night. Su Ye soon confirmed that it was indeed as Shi Sheng said. Shi Sheng's movements were found out by the police, and it was no different from what she said. He was abroad on the 16th and got off the plane at 3 o'clock in the morning on the 17th. He took a taxi to the Nanyuan Villa. After that, he stayed with Su Tu for an hour and left at 5 o'clock in the morning. He took a taxi back to school just as the school opened. The guard and the dormitory administrator said that they saw her. After that, she didn't leave the dormitory, so she didn't have time to commit the crime. She didn't know what Su Tu said to the police. The police didn't ask her to go to the police station to cooperate with the investigation. They just asked her to keep the communication line open and contact her if there was any news. As soon as the police left, Shi Sheng received a call from Su Tuesday. Wait at the school gate. I'll pick you up. Do I have to pay? Of course. Shi Sheng curled his lips and hung up the phone. He changed his clothes and went out. As soon as he went out, the people outside pointed at him and talked about him. She didn't know who leaked the news that the police came to her because of her aunt's death. So the word murderer was attached to her, and it became a hot topic on the BBS. Shisheng didn't care about it at all, and walked to the school gate. After waiting for about 10 minutes, Sutu's car arrived. He opened the door and got in. Sutu glanced at him sideways. "Why are you so careless?" Shisheng frowned. "I didn't kill her." Sutu nodded. "Well, with your intelligence, how could people find out that it was you who did it? Do you know who did it?" "I don't know." Shisheng held his chin. "Do you have a computer?" Sutu took out a computer from behind and gave it to him. Shisheng hacked into the city's traffic monitoring system in front of Sutu and checked the surveillance where Luo Yin was found from May 16th to 17th. Luo Yin appeared in the surveillance around the afternoon of the 16th. She first bought some food nearby, and then made a call with a public phone. Then she entered the blind spot of the surveillance. Shisheng checked all the surveillance cameras that could be accessed. Luo Yin didn't come out again, which proved that she was killed after that. The police looked at these surveillance cameras and found nothing. "Go and have a look around there." Shisheng ordered Sutu's day. Sutu started the car and took Shisheng to the scene without saying anything about collecting money. The police had finished the investigation and withdrew. Shisheng got out of the car and walked according to the track that Luo Yin came in. Then he arrived at the scene of the crime. After that, he walked all the routes that could lead to here and finally locked on a person from the surveillance. It's him. The man in the surveillance wore sunglasses and entered from another more remote alley. There was a surveillance camera outside the alley, and it just captured his figure going in. About half an hour later, he came out from inside and quickly stopped a car to leave. Chapter 1338. Shisheng zoomed in on the screen. There was a black mark on the man's wrist. Feng Xiaoxuan. Luo Yin. Feng Xiaoxuan. Shisheng stared at the screen. He heard that Luo Yin was taken away one day. It should be Feng Xiaoxuan. Feng Xiaoxuan didn't kill Luo Yin at first because she wanted to lure her out. But Luo Yin was useless as long as she didn't go out. As an enemy, Feng Xiaoxuan would definitely not let Luo Yin go. The female lead was so powerful that she wouldn't let go of anyone with the surname Luo. Shisheng contacted Su Ye and sent the surveillance video to her. They were both members of the Rose organization. The school case and Luo Yan's murder case were connected together. Shisheng closed the computer. The scenery outside the window kept moving backward. The car was driving somewhere. "Where are you taking me?" Sutu smiled. "Miss Luo Shu, as a reward for testifying for you and picking you up, shouldn't you pay me?" "If I don't pay, are you going to sell me?" "That won't happen. I will help Miss Luo Shu remember." Shisheng looked at him suspiciously. "Are you so kind?" He didn't talk when he had no money before. "Miss Luo Shu, you just found out that I'm so kind?" "I never found out. When was this guy ever kind? Money was the boss." "Miss Luo Shu will find out in the future." Shisheng. Why did he feel that he was going to be cheated? It must be an illusion. Sutu didn't take Shisheng to do anything. He just took her for a walk on the street, and then sent her back to school. There will be an underground auction 3 days later. Are you interested? Sutu half leaned over and unfastened the seatbelt for Shisheng, but his hand was still on her waist. "You're still interested in this? Aren't you only interested in money?" Shisheng raised his eyebrows. Sutu pulled her towards him. "I'm more interested in you now." They were so close that they could almost hear each other's heartbeats. The atmosphere was ambiguous. Sutu didn't want to do anything, but Shisheng felt that he would be a fool if he didn't do something. So Sutu was kissed again. Sutu pressed down on Shisheng's hand and said in a low and hoarse voice, "Don't mess around." He restrained Shisheng's wriggling hands and forced her to hug him. He rested his chin on her shoulder and panted softly. His palm stroked her back gently. "I'll wait for you to grow up." "I'm not trying to do anything." Shisheng was speechless. "We're in the car, okay? Do you want to have sex in the car?" Sutu was speechless. Why did the ambiguous atmosphere disappear the moment she spoke? Sutu sighed and suppressed the desire in his body that was aroused by her. His lips were close to her neck and his teeth were grinding her white skin. "If you want to bite me, then bite me. Why are you rubbing against me?" Damn it. If he didn't bite her, he wouldn't be able to live. Su Tu exerted a little force. His teeth seemed to have pierced through the skin, but it also seemed to have not. After a while he let go. Shisheng turned his head to look. There was a deep bite mark, but there was no blood. Are you a dog? You asked me to bite you. Su Tu opened his eyes, his expression was innocent. You, Shisheng gritted his teeth. Go ahead and do it. You'll cry in the future. I will definitely make you cry until you can't get out of bed. She got away from Su Tu and returned to the front passenger seat. She opened the door and got out. Su Tu held his forehead and chuckled. He licked his lips with the tip of his tongue. He really looked forward to the day when she grew up. Shisheng went back to the dormitory and looked at the bite mark in the mirror. The bite position was so high that even the round collar clothes couldn't cover it. Fortunately, there was no blood. If there was blood, it would take a long time for her to recover. She didn't quite understand why her daughter-in-law liked to bite her so much. Could she live forever after being bitten? She was not Tang Sung. Knock knock. Shisheng pulled his collar to cover the bite mark and went to open the door. A girl was standing outside the door, holding a big bouquet of roses. Shisheng was speechless. The girl handed the flowers to Shisheng. Luo Shu, here are your flowers. Who sent them? The girl seemed to be a little afraid of her. She stuttered. I don't know. The dormitory auntie asked me to bring them up for you. Thank you. The girl seemed to be a little flattered. You're welcome. Then she turned around and ran away quickly. Shisheng took the flowers and went in. She rummaged inside but didn't find any card. She took out her phone and sent a message to Su Tuesday, earn 1 billion first. You sent them? Su Tu, do you like them? Earn 1 billion first. You sent me flowers for no reason. Is there a conspiracy? Su Tu, isn't this a normal step in dating? Earn 1 billion first. Didn't you say that I can't be your girlfriend? Su Tu, so I'm wooing you now. Earn 1 billion first. Su Tu, did you forget to take your medicine? Su Tu, I forgot to take your medicine. Earn 1 billion first. Damn. Damn. My daughter-in-law has been replaced by someone else. Su Tu must be out of his mind. He sent flowers every day. The rumors in the school suddenly flew. After all, she was only in high school now. Although she was not a little girl, her body was. So the forum changed from her being a murderer to being indecent. Earn 1 billion first. Can you not send flowers? This thing can't be eaten or used. She used it to pile flowers in the dormitory. The room was full of fragrance. She almost fainted from the smell. Su Tu, you don't like it? Earn 1 billion first. I like you more. Why don't you give you to me? Su Tu, I'm expensive. I won't give you. Earn 1 billion first. Young Master Su, you'll be mine sooner or later. Don't be so awkward, okay? Su Tu, are you so confident? Earn 1 billion first. I'm rich. Su Tu. Su Tu, I'm outside your school. Come out. I'll take you to the auction. Shisheng looked at the time. It was almost 10 o'clock in the evening. This auction was really strange. At 10 o'clock, the dormitory was locked. Shisheng could only jump down from the window. She was going to jump over the wall to get out of the school. She didn't expect to meet the female protagonist. It was not only the male protagonist who could meet the female protagonist at any time and in any position. There were also villains. Feng Xiaoxuan had already jumped over the wall. Shisheng was below. They looked at each other affectionately in the night. Luoshu. Feng Xiaoxuan jumped down from the wall and went straight to Shisheng. It was not easy to meet her. Of course, she wanted to kill her. Feng Xiaoxuan started to attack her directly. Every move was a killing move. Hey, where's I's sword? Sword, forget it. Let's use our hands. Feng Xiaoxuan's hands and feet were good. With the halo of the female protagonist, they couldn't do anything to each other for a while. At this moment, Feng Xiaoxuan took out a gun from her waist and shot at Shisheng. The gun was a silencer. Only the sound of the bullet could be heard. Fuck. Foul. She didn't use any cold weapons, but the female protagonist used a gun. How annoying. Shisheng avoided the bullet and grabbed the female protagonist's wrist. Feng Xiaoxuan wanted to break away, But Shisheng kicked her calf. Her body was inevitably tilted. Shisheng pressed her to the ground, took away the gun in her hand and pulled the trigger without hesitation. There was a light click. Nothing happened. Shisheng. Cheating. *CK your grandpa. Plot master, that's enough. *# today's wheat plum ticket ## begging for votes every month ## new week. Please use your noble little hands #. Chapter 1339. Feng Xiaoxuan almost thought that she was going to die. She gasped for breath. While Shisheng was cursing her, she pushed herself against the ground and tried to turn over. What are you moving about for? Shisheng pressed her back down. Do you think that I can't deal with you without a gun? Idiot. Feng Xiaoxuan's face turned red. Luo Shu, what do you want to do? Be reasonable, Feng Xiaoxuan. You rushed over and hit me first. What do you think I want to do? Shisheng rolled his eyes and tied Feng Xiaoxuan up with a rope. Shisheng didn't wait for Feng Xiaoxuan to continue blabbering. She stuffed Feng Xiaoxuan's mouth shut and dragged her to a secluded area on campus. Feng Xiaoxuan's body rubbed against the ground and hit the stones from time to time. She felt dizzy. Under Feng Xiaoxuan's furious and hateful gaze, Shisheng tied her to a tree. To prevent Plot Sama from continuing to cause trouble for her, Shisheng searched Feng Xiaoxuan's body for anything she could use and tied her up so tightly that she couldn't even move her toes, much less her hands. Shisheng clapped his hands. Stay here. Maybe your Prince Charming will come to save you. Shisheng looked at the rope. Well, was it a little loose? A few more rounds would be enough. Feng Xiaoxuan was tied up, and only her head was left. Woo-woo. She wanted to kill Luo Shu. Feng Xiaoxuan had never wanted to kill a person so much. However, she could only watch Shisheng swagger away. There was nothing she could do. The auction was held in an underground bar. When entering, the bar would distribute masks, probably to protect the privacy of the guests. Su Tu didn't wear Shisheng's mask. Instead, he took her to the back of the bar through the staff passage. Young Master Su, this way please. A waiter waited at the end of the staff passage and respectfully led them to a private room. There was a surveillance camera in the private room, which could see the whole bar outside. The waiter took them to the room and left. Shisheng walked around the room. This bar is quite good at doing business. The business of the rich and the ordinary people are separated. I have a cooperation with them. Ordinary people can't enter such a private room. Shisheng understood that most of young Master Su's partners had been tricked. What are we filming this time? What's with all this commotion? Shisheng stared at the screen. The people who came didn't seem to be simple people. Su Tu explained, it's not a valuable item. It's just a necklace. But that necklace is very important to a person. These people are here for that person. Shisheng's mind raced. She seemed to know who it was. Feng Xiaoxuan must have come out to participate in this auction. And in the end, she got the necklace and also got the big boss Uncle X one. But now, the female lead was tied up by her. As long as Plot Kuan was shameless enough to let her go, Feng Xiaoxuan probably wouldn't be able to catch up. Shisheng sat back beside Su Tuesday. What are you doing here? Firstly, he didn't mingle in the underworld. Secondly, he didn't buy anything. Secondly, he had a sister who was a police officer at home. Su Tu put his hand on Shisheng's shoulder. You can learn a lot of things here. Su Tu's sight fell on one of the monitors. Shisheng followed his gaze and saw a familiar figure. That should be Jiang Qinjing and Han Yuan. Su Tu and Jiang Qinjing had a grudge. Did he come here for Jiang Qinjing? The light in the bar suddenly dimmed. The surveillance screen went dark. After a while, the stage was lit up. In the whole bar, only the stage was lit up. The auction had begun. Today's auction is different from the past. There's only one rule. You can bid. As long as the owner of the auction is satisfied, then you can get it. The range of bidding includes not only money. As long as you think it's valuable, you can bid. This is an auction without any rules. So let's start now. Everyone knew the news, so they were prepared. As long as they got the necklace and got the big boss's approval, they would be able to achieve great things in the future. There were all kinds of bids on the stage, But obviously, the big boss wasn't satisfied. More than half an hour had passed. Still, no one could move the big boss. Most of the things that they had prepared were almost finished. Another period of time passed, and no one called out a price. I'm sorry. No one can satisfy the owner of the auction. So this auction is over. The bar has prepared drinks for everyone. Have a good time. Shisheng yawned out of boredom. Are you sleepy? Su-tu touched his face. Lean on me and sleep for a while. I'll call you when we leave. I'm bored. I'll go out for a while. Shisheng got up. Su-tu pulled him. Ask the people outside to give you a mask. Got it. Shisheng took the mask and sneaked into the bar. Now these people were talking about the auction just now. No one knew what this big boss wanted. Shisheng approached Jiang Qinjing and Han Yuan. Han Yuan was supporting Jiang Qinjing. Jiang Qinjing's face looked a little strange. He shouldn't be drunk. Han Yuan was full of coldness. He was planning to get Jiang Qinjing out of the bar. In the plot, Jiang Qinjing would be drugged. Then he would naturally be together with the female lead. But now the female lead wasn't here. There was only Han Yuan by his side. Shisheng moved to Han Yuan's side and said viciously, just do it if you like it. He doesn't know anyway. It was too dark. Han Yuan couldn't see the speaker clearly. She only felt that the voice was a little familiar, but she was quickly suppressed by the shame of having said the truth. On second thought, she realized that something was wrong. She hadn't said anything. Why was he panicking? Han Yuan quickly calmed down. You're talking to me? Who else could it be? Shisheng took out 2 square objects from his pocket and stuffed them into Han Yuan's hands. Don't be a coward, young man. Do it boldly. Han Yuan liked Jiang Qinjing, but Jiang Qinjing didn't know about it. Feng Xiaoxuan had discovered it by accident. Han Yuan had begged her to keep it a secret and not let Jiang Qinjing know. But Feng Xiaoxuan was still thinking about revenge at the time. She had revealed it to Jiang Qinjing unintentionally, causing a rift in their relationship and forcing Han Yuan to leave the country. Anyway, according to the plot, the central idea expressed was that Han Yuan looked down on homosexuality. This was supposed to be the female lead. If it were Han Yuan, who knew what Jiang Qinjing would do? Of course, the premise was that Han Yuan had the guts to sleep with Jiang Qinjing. Han Yuan took out what the object was. His face immediately flushed red. Who are you? How did she know? However, no one answered him. Han Yuan looked around, but didn't see anyone who resembled the person he had just met. Han Yuan clenched the object in his hand. Jiang Qinjing was leaning against his shoulder. His warm breath was rushing up to his neck. This was the time when he was young and frivolous. Shisheng's words, "Don't be a coward. Do it boldly," echoed in his ears like a curse. Han Yuan swallowed with difficulty. He felt that the person leaning against him wasn't Jiang Qinjing, but a ball of fire that wanted to burn him alive. Chapter 1340. Feng Xiaoxuan was found by the cleaning staff the next day. So the news of her Prince Charming being kidnapped immediately jumped to the front page of the school BBS. Even at night, the weather was still very hot. Feng Xiaoxuan was covered with heat rashes, so she could only stay in the school infirmary. She took advantage of the time when the school doctor left to call her people. Kill Luo Shu at all costs. Boss, I was just about to report this matter to you. Luo Shu and Su-tu are together. Feng Xiaoxuan was stunned. Su-tu? Which Su-tu? Which Su-tu? The one from the Su family is very difficult to deal with. Luo Shu seems to have a special relationship with him. If we touch Luo Shu again, we will provoke him. I can't get over this if I don't kill Luo Shu. Luo family had a grudge against her, plus the recent events. She and Luo Shu had long been fighting desperately. Boss, be patient. The people on the other side advised Feng Xiaoxuan. We don't want to fight with Su-tu for the time being. Although the other forces have been quiet recently, the police have increased their attention to us. At this time, we have to be low-key. Su-tu was really not to be provoked. He didn't take sides with the black and white, he was alone and had no power. However, people in the circle were not willing to provoke him. A person who could be so feared must have some ability. Feng Xiaoxuan calmed down the hatred in her heart. She rubbed her eyebrows. I know. She couldn't be impulsive. The current situation was very bad for her. If she took a wrong step, she would be doomed eternally, not to mention revenge. Feng Xiaoxuan left the school infirmary after she felt better. When she went out, she met Jiang Chunjing with a gloomy face. Jiang Chunjing strode over, as if he didn't see her. Jiang Chunjing. Jiang Chunjing. Feng Xiaoxuan called him several times, but Jiang Chunjing ignored her. Han Yuan chased after her while panting. He ran past her like a gust of wind. He looked nervous as if he had done something wrong. Feng Xiaoxuan frowned and looked at them disappearing one after another. She forced herself not to think about Jiang Chunjing. What he did had nothing to do with her. Feng Xiaoxuan was ready to leave the school to discuss with her people. When she just walked to the school gate, she saw Shisheng coming down from a car. She held the car door and talked to the people inside. She then leaned in. The car door blocked her figure. She couldn't see what she was doing. After a while, she closed the door and watched the car drive away. Shisheng turned around and entered the school gate. He met Feng Xiaoxuan on a narrow path. Luoshu, don't think that I can't do anything to you just because you have Su Tu's support. Feng Xiaoxuan clenched her fists. Shisheng sneered. When did Su Tu support me? Did he help me fight, or did he help me find someone? I need his support? I should be the one supporting him. Shisheng's words reminded Feng Xiaoxuan that their previous fight had nothing to do with Su Tuesday. Shisheng strolled past Feng Xiaoxuan and said viciously, Feng Xiaoxuan, if it weren't for your luck, I would have killed you in that alley. Feng Xiaoxuan froze in place, but the anger in her heart could not be suppressed. How could she lose to someone who had nothing? No. Feng Xiaoxuan suddenly made a move. Her 5 fingers grabbed Shisheng's shoulder, but she couldn't even touch the corner of his clothes. In a flash, the person who was standing in front of her suddenly appeared on her side. Feng Xiaoxuan quickly changed her direction and hit Shisheng's face. Ah! Prince Charming and Luoshu are fighting. Luoshu shamelessly bullied Prince Charming again. Come on, Prince Charming. Come on. The students coming in and out of the school gate shouted at them. Some cheered for Feng Xiaoxuan, and some scolded Shisheng. In short, the scene was very chaotic. More and more people came to watch, but the more Feng Xiaoxuan fought, the more flustered she became. She was not Luoshu's opponent. If she lost at this time, how shameful would it be? Before Feng Xiaoxuan could figure out how shameful it would be, she had been thrown to the ground by Shisheng. The noisy scene suddenly quieted down. Feng Xiaoxuan lost. Shisheng clapped his hands and looked at Feng Xiaoxuan condescendingly. Feng Xiaoxuan, you'd better buy a tomb for yourself, so that you won't have a place to bury yourself. She bent slightly and looked at Feng Xiaoxuan's angry eyes. The corners of her mouth curled up, but her voice was extremely vicious. You will die. Don't be afraid. Feng Xiaoxuan couldn't wait to punch the face in front of her. Why are you looking at me like that? Shisheng squatted down. You planned to kill my family and now you want to kill me. I don't hate you, but you still have the nerve to hate me. How shameless. Feng Xiaoxuan gritted her teeth and squeezed out a sentence from between her teeth. You people of the Luo family all deserve to die. Yes, we all deserve to die, but you deserve to live. Shisheng stood up and smiled sarcastically. Then you should cherish the time you have now. You can't kill me. Shisheng's eyebrows were full of arrogance and confidence. She couldn't kill the female lead because of her halo, but the female lead couldn't kill her because she couldn't do it herself. Don't tell her that other people didn't have as much experience as she did, and that other people relied on their strength to crush the weak. She also climbed up step by stepping on mountains of corpses and seas of blood. She also destroyed the mountains in front of her one by one. There was no mountain that couldn't be overcome. It depended on whether you had perseverance and ruthlessness. Feng Xiaoxuan crawled on the ground in embarrassment. The others looked at each other and didn't dare to help her. After a few seconds, she got up by herself and limped out of the school. After the people involved left, the onlookers in the background began to discuss. Luoshu is so powerful. Why didn't I think Luoshu was so powerful before? Sigh. Luo Shu's personality has changed a lot recently. She fights without saying anything. Are you blind? It was obviously Feng Xiaoxuan who attacked first. Luo Shu was just defending herself. Does she need to use so much strength to defend herself? She did it on purpose. The two sides suddenly quarreled and had an in-depth discussion at the school gate. As a result, everyone, including Shi Sheng, was on the radio. I hope the following students can do a thorough self-reflection and stop fighting in school. Grade 1, Class 9 Luo Shu, Grade 1, Class 7, Feng Xiaoxuan, Grade 1, Class 8, Lin Jing, Grade 1, Class 9. There was a long list of names at the end. Shi Sheng was used to being on the radio, so he didn't care. However, it was different for the others. Some of them were probably on the radio for the first time. They cried and shouted that they were wronged. Shi Sheng didn't understand why they were so agitated. The radio was just an announcement, not a punishment. Did they have to be so nervous? Later, Shi Sheng found out that school credits would be deducted if they were on the radio. School credits. It was a very important thing in any school. Shi Sheng counted the number of times she was on the radio. Her school credits were probably all deducted. No wonder the school didn't make trouble for her. Once all her school credits were deducted, the school could force her to drop out. Insidious. Anyway, she didn't have to be in school. So what if they deducted her school credits? I was fearless. Chapter 1341. Suye, boss, are you there? Shi Sheng looked at the message sent by Suye. He was a little confused. She even addressed him as boss. Sutu's breeder. No way. Suye. What the hell is your name? Sutu's breeder. Literally. Suye. Don't you know? Sutu's breeder. What? It took Suye a while to reply. Suye. Sutu fell in love with a little girl. He and the little girl are very close. His mother is so angry that she almost went crazy. I think he is really crazy. She is still underage. How can he do that? I didn't expect him to be such a hardcore person. Sutu's breeder. Was this little girl talking about her? Shi Sheng took a mirror and looked at herself. She was quite beautiful. Although she was a little young, she was still a beauty. She was not a little girl, right? At your age, all good-looking girls are called little girls. The system suddenly jumped out and explained considerately. Suye, it's true. He is with a little girl. It's better for him to be with you. Didn't you say that you want to keep him? Hurry up. There is still a chance. I don't want to arrest him for raping an underage girl. Sutu's breeder. Why are you looking for me? Shi Sheng felt that he couldn't talk about this topic with Suye anymore. He quickly changed the topic. Suye's thoughts that had been led astray immediately returned to normal. Suye, we have found the clues you gave us last time and arrested him. After interrogation, we found that he did kill Luo Yan. But he didn't admit to the two people in the school dormitory. He said it had nothing to do with him. Sutu's breeder. So? Suye, our director wants to ask you for help. Check the school. Sutu's breeder. Your director is so careless. He dares to use me, a person with an unknown background. Suye, our director even dares to use Su Tuesday. Do you think he dares not to use you? Sutu was a scammer. The entire police station was not enough for him to play with. The director had no psychological pressure to use such a person, let alone a whistleblower who always provided them with clues. At this time, in the director's eyes, this whistleblower had changed from a suspect to a suspect that could be used. Fortunately, the bureau chief didn't believe everything that others said. He would send someone to verify it again and make sure that there were no mistakes before making a conclusion. Otherwise, he would have reached the end of his career as a bureau chief a long time ago. They were really at their wits' end and couldn't find anything about the school case. That was why the director asked her to contact the Shi Sheng breeder Sucha. I don't know. She would be crazy to accept this kind of investigation. Suye was speechless. Suye, there's a fee. Breeder Sutu. I'm not short of money. Suye. The negotiation failed. Suye went to report to Sutu gloomily. Shi Sheng took the phone and told Sutu what Suye had told him just now. Breeder Sutu. I've become a lowly. Su-tu. Something like that. Su-tu's breeder. Su-tu, come over tonight if you have the ability. Su-tu window surfing fee. The Shisheng transferred a large sum of money to him. Su-tu, Miss Luo Shu, see you tonight. In the evening, Su-tu came in through the window with a big bouquet of roses. Shisheng's expression at that time could be described with one word: embarrassment. You climbed through the window with a bouquet of flowers? Are you crazy? Su-tu threw away the withered flowers on the Shisheng's table and put the one in his hand on it. Isn't it rude for me to come empty-handed? You still know how to write the word rude. It's rare. Shisheng tuted twice. Su-tu pulled Shisheng into his arms. She was very small at this time. He could hold her completely at once. You seem to like to talk back to me. You dare to talk back to me? I don't dare, my queen. Su-tu held one of Shisheng's hands and stepped back a little. He made a standard aristocratic salute. Shisheng suddenly became silent. She stared at Su-tu's day. She didn't know whether she was looking at him or at the void. Luo Shu. Su-tu suddenly hugged her and completely wrapped her in his body. He didn't like the look in her eyes just now. He couldn't see himself in her eyes. There was only emptiness. Well, Su-tu, do you want to suffocate me? Shisheng was a little out of breath. Su-tu quickly loosened his hands. He looked down at Shisheng, who was panting. Her pink lips gently opened and closed. Su-tu's eyes narrowed. He didn't know how he kissed her. He almost never took the initiative to kiss her. She was the one who kissed him. Her taste was very familiar to him. But every time he kissed her, he could feel a deeper throbbing. It was like a call from the soul. Su-tu loosened Shisheng after a long time. She opened her eyes and stared at him without blinking. What are you looking at? Su-tu loosened her and avoided her gaze. Su-tu, one more time. Shisheng reached out and turned his face back. There was a different kind of light in his eyes. No. Su-tu continued to move to the side. His heart was beating so fast that it seemed to jump out. One more time. Su-tu gritted his teeth. 1 million. Last time, you said 1 million for sleeping with you for a night. Shisheng was furious. Don't raise the price. No, I'm leaving. Su-tu immediately walked to the window. Even if the air conditioner was on, he felt like he was in a steamer at this time. It was too hot. He just wanted to leave here quickly. Here you go. Su-tu. Would he be beaten to death if he raised the price to 10 million? He didn't know if he would be beaten to death, but he knew that he would be done on the spot. Shisheng raised his chin and looked at him. Su-tu walked back slowly. It took him a lot of effort to suppress the restlessness in his body. Luo Shu, I don't want to touch you. Shisheng. What did he mean? Su-tu saw that Shisheng's face changed a little. He quickly explained, I didn't mean that. I feel uncomfortable when I touch you. After all, he was a young and vigorous man. It would be strange if he didn't feel uncomfortable. That's your business. Anyway, she didn't feel uncomfortable. She just wanted him to kiss her now. Su-tu was helpless. He had to hold it in even if he felt uncomfortable. Who asked her to be so young? This account was recorded in a small notebook. When she became an adult, he must get it back. Su-tu didn't know how he was pulled to the bed by Shisheng. The bed in the dormitory was very small. Shisheng had no problem sleeping alone, but it would be crowded if two people slept together. Shisheng was lying in his arms and playing games. He just stared at him from the side. She was having a lot of fun. Su-tu stared at the ceiling. For a moment, a crazy idea flashed in his mind. But when he looked sideways and saw her gentle side profile, he suppressed the idea. He looked at the time. Luo Shu, it's time to sleep, right? Shisheng put down his mobile phone and turned off the light. He hugged him sideways and shrank into his arms. Su-tu. Wait, you don't want me to leave? A proper bureau chief would definitely not handle a case like this. This was not a proper bureau chief and he had a backer. So he was willful. There was nothing wrong with that. Don't bring this into reality. This was not realistic. Chapter 1342. There was no light in the room, so Su-tu couldn't see anything. But the hot air that she breathed on his chest kept spreading to his whole body, stimulating his nerves. Sutu's mouth was dry. He licked his lips. Luo Shu, why did you choose me? Why did I choose you? We've never met. Why did you choose me at once? He was very sure that he had never met her face to face, nor did they have any interaction with each other. Because it's you. There was no reason. Because it's you, so I chose you. When Sutu woke up the next day, he found that Shisheng was lying on his body. He laughed and put her on the bed carefully. As soon as he moved, Shisheng opened her eyes. She seemed to look at him, and then closed her eyes again. She leaned over and hugged him to continue sleeping. Sutu had to give up the idea of leaving. The noise outside was getting louder and louder. Sutu sighed. It seemed that he couldn't leave today. It was impossible for him to go out of the door or the window in broad daylight. Shisheng didn't get up until 8 o'clock. She took out her phone and was about to order breakfast. She only remembered that Sutu was there when she ordered takeout. She got out of bed and changed her clothes. She didn't avoid Sutu at all. Luo Shu, can't you go to the toilet to change? Sutu gritted his teeth. Shisheng put on a t-shirt and casually pulled her hair. It's yours anyway. You've touched it. Why are you afraid of seeing it? Don't pretend. Sutu smiled bitterly. What are you going to do? To buy breakfast for you. Shisheng took the key and went out. Don't run around. This is the girls' dormitory. Sutu was speechless. Shisheng never wronged him. She didn't care about herself, but the food that Feng Xi ate was definitely the best. When Shisheng came back with breakfast, the school had already started classes. She could only climb over the wall. The place she climbed over the wall was randomly chosen. As soon as she jumped in, she heard someone talking. Chun, I'm going abroad tomorrow. Silence. No one responded to the voice. I won't go back to China in the future. Still silence. About that day. I'm sorry, but forget it. I know you don't want to talk about it. I won't talk about it. He paused. Are we still friends? Shisheng raised her eyebrows. Jiang Chun and Han Yuan? Did Han Yuan mean that Han Yuan's was Jiang Chen? This young man sure has guts. Jiang Chenjing was still silent. After a long while, he finally opened his mouth. His voice carried some indiscernible emotions. Do you think we can still be friends? Han Shua forced a smile. It was my wishful thinking. You take care of yourself. The sound of someone leaving stopped after a while. Chun, be careful of Feng Xiaoxuan. Jiang Chenjing didn't say anything. Han Yuan ran past Shisheng as he left. Jiang Chenjing stood there for a long time without moving. Shisheng had no choice but to leave. Even if Han Yuan slept with Jiang Chenjing, Mr. Plot still allowed Han Yuan to leave the country. The plot was irreversible. In any case, it was impossible for Jiang Chenjing to be with Feng Xiaoxuan now. Shisheng returned to the dormitory with breakfast. Sutu was cleaning up the dormitory for him. The messy dormitory did not look like a girl's dormitory at all. He could not bear to look at it. Fortunately, it was not dirty, just messy. Move out and live with me. Sutu suddenly said. Huh. Shisheng turned to look at him, his face full of surprise. Young Master Su, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Sutu pinched her face. He was amused and annoyed at the same time. What are you thinking? I just want to take care of you. I don't feel at ease if you live here alone. What did she eat here all day long? It was either takeout or instant noodles. She was still growing. How could she be so tormented? The longer he stayed with her, the more he wanted to be with her. He wanted to prolong the time a little bit more. It seemed that no matter how long he stayed with her, he would never get bored. Go to Nanyuan Villa? Suye was also there. If she lived there, wouldn't Suye make a fuss? Shisheng was furious at the thought of that scene. She would not go there. Of course not. I have a house outside. I rarely go there. If you go there, we can live there. Sutu did not dare to bring Shisheng to Nanyuan Villa. His mother was still there. He was not afraid of his mother, but he was worried that Shisheng would hear something unpleasant. Oh, okay. It did not matter where they lived anyway. Okay, I'll ask someone to clean it up. Sutu immediately called someone to clean it up. You can't wait. Shisheng looked at him playfully as he hung up the phone. Su-tu almost choked on his saliva. Did he show that he couldn't wait just now? No, right? Absolutely not. Even if he did, he would not admit it. Su-tu said seriously, "You're not allowed to eat junk food in the future. You're not short of money. Can't you eat properly?" "I'm too lazy to go there. It took more than 20 minutes to go to a good restaurant near the school." "Then you're not too lazy to go there today? You're different." Su-tu was stunned. "You went there because of me?" Shisheng's eyebrows were slightly curved. "Of course, I want to give you the best." Su-tu suddenly felt a little uncomfortable. He held the spoon and did not eat for a long time. Shisheng touched his hand. "It's cold. Hurry up and eat." "Luo Shu." Su-tu's Shisheng interrupted him and was particularly serious. "My name is not Luo Shu. My name is Shisheng. You have to remember this name. It will accompany you forever." Su-tu was puzzled. Shisheng? Shur as in Shirmu, Sheng as in Shinga. He seemed to have heard it somewhere before. Shisheng. This name was very familiar to him. Su-tu began to wonder if he had lost a part of his memory. Otherwise, how could he feel familiar with a completely strange name? Moreover, he did not feel strange or suspicious when she suddenly said that her name was Shisheng. It seemed that everything was so natural. Shisheng held his chin and asked him, "What do you want to ask?" Su-tu had a lot of questions, but he did not know how to ask. After thinking about it carefully, it seemed that it was not that important. It did not matter whether he knew it or not. Su-tu shook his head. "Shisheng is very nice." "Is it nice?" Su-tu nodded. It was very nice. Shisheng pulled the corners of his mouth and smiled. In his era, sheng was not a musical instrument. Sheng was a kind of creature. They were like weeds, humble and lowly but extremely annoying. The person who gave her this name at the beginning hoped that she would be like those lowly creatures and never be able to make a name for herself. Su-tu got up and hugged Shisheng from behind. "No matter when, I'm always here." Shisheng looked up at him with a smile in his eyes. "You have no choice." Su-tu's mouth also showed a faint smile. Yes, he had no choice. From the moment she suddenly broke into his world, he had no choice. He could either get her or destroy her. He was very lucky that he got her. And there was only one choice she gave him, which was to become her man. There was no room for negotiation. Asterisk friendly reminder. Sheng is a fictional character. It is needed for the plot. In fact, it is just a musical instrument. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.